time of so far this afternoon. We've only played less than 3 minutes, and Air Force has taken a 14-0 lead after 2 Bosco interceptions. The kick is up, and once again, Visekahema will field the kick at his own goal line. Tries up the middle, finds an opening. He's off and running at the 30, the 35, the 40, and stumbles his way up to the 45-yard line. And Chris Tunis, that's the shot in the arm BYU might need.
Just might. Here's Sikahema, a lot better than the last return. He only got out to the 15. Puts a terrific move on Falcon Mark Munafo. And up the middle, fakes out another guy, and is just tripped up in the tackle on the play. You should credit it to Scott Thomas.
Well, Visekahema, very good punt returner, has a 7.1 average, and his longest so far this season, 48 yards. And that one was close. 45 yards for Sikahema on the return. Bosco slips, gains his balance, and throws one over the head of Bellini on first down. So Robbie looks shaky.
And you hear boos. You hear boos from the Cougar fans. There was a hue and cry 3 weeks ago after I keep harking back to the UTEP game. The fans wanted Blaine Fowler in there that night. Fans are fickle.
Robbie Bosco, 262 completions out of 388 attempts. His yardage, Chris, very impressive. 3,344 yards this season, 24 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. 2 coming this afternoon.
2 slot backs here. Nobody behind Bosco.
Second down and 10. Bosco again wants to throw the football across the middle to Bellini, and he fumbles the football. I believe they're going to call it incomplete. Bellini had it, but I believe the ball popped free before he hit the ground.
He was smashed by 2 Falcons upon touching the football, and good call, incomplete.
Dwan Wilson and Scott Thomas there to hammer Bellini, and this time, Chris, Robbie had time to throw the football.
He sure did, and he threw a pretty good pass. Just excellent coverage by the Falcons, Thomas and Rotello.
Third down and 10 for BYU at their own 45-yard line. It's been a great series between these 2 ball clubs, especially over the last couple of 3 years. The backs are split. Bosco, again, wants to go up top. Plenty of time. Finds a man open along the far sideline, and incomplete. I believe Bellini again had the football, but he lost it on the way down.
It was Bellini, and similar type of play as you see 3-4 Falcons in the neighborhood. So 4th and 10, and we will see Kevin Towle with his 41-yard average punting.
And Chris, Mark Bellini ranks 11th nationally in receptions, 45 catches, 729 yards, 11 touchdowns. Mark usually makes those catches.
And the Cougars 3 series on no first downs.
So Tao will kick the ball away. Nice high driving kick. And this one's going to bounce about 3 yards deep into the end zone. No return. So the Air Force Academy will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 20.
And notice them on the punt. I don't know if you saw it in the picture. Scott Thomas trying to execute the fake to its perfection. And he was at the 15-yard line acting as if he was going to fair catch the punt. But the ball went into the end zone. Deception is the key to Air Force, both in offense and defense.
Let's talk about Bart Weiss, of course, the quarterback of Air Force. A great wishbone quarterback, and as we mentioned, only needed 46 yards coming into this ball game to become only the 3rd NCAA player to ever run and pass for over 1,000 yards in a season. He keeps it on first down, fakes the pitch, turns upfield, and gains about 8 yards on the play. So Air Force goes to that very potent wishbone attack.
Gouveia playing the man in the back on the pitch, and he took the fake, but then again, that's just his assignment. Again, the fake up front. Gouveia, you see Gouveia bearing down. Well, Gouveia was really faked out on that play. A nice play by Weiss, and the Cougars with the tackle.
What happened? Gouveia has to play the pitch man, of course, and it's a very tough chore. Gouveia is going to be a busy man this afternoon. 2nd down and about 1.5 yards for the first down. Weiss keeps the football, turns upfield, got running room, and is hauled down by number 9, Rob Ladinko, the strong safety for BYU. And the boos continue here in Provo.
Fake up front to Johnny Smith, and then Weiss keeps it. Ladinko, the leading tackler of the secondary players, makes the hit. You see, there's the fake to Smith. He's got Pashizniak behind him, but Weiss decides to keep it. He's got an avenue there, and coming in Ladinko, and then Leon White following up.
Well, Ladinko makes the game-saving tackle, Chris. Another step, and Weiss would have been going in for 6. 1st down and 10, Air Force. Hands off up the middle. Pat Evans, the fullback. He gains about 3 yards on the play, so the first man through is Evans, and Air Force continues to pound away.
And let me correct you on that. Johnny Smith with the run there for a couple yards. And we, folks, have only played 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Air Force 14, BYU nothing.
Well, this ball game, of course, Chris, had been built up all week long as almost a bowl game. You couldn't ask for maybe a better matchup on New Year's Day. And most of the people around the country like BYU by 1, 2, 2.5 points.
That is correct.
The little pitch. Air Force. Randy Jones, the man, carries the football into BYU territory. They're going to mark it down just over the 42-yard line, and another first down for Air Force.
Air Force with the 5th leading rushing team in the nation with over 300 yards a game, and we can see why. You see, Gouveia was trying to bat that pitch away. Randy Jones out of Corpus Christi, Texas, cutting to the outside on there, and once again, Ledenko with the tackle. When the secondary men have to make the tackle, you know you're having problems.
Bart Weiss, the leading ground gainer on this ball club, brings him to the line. First down. The trap play goes to Randy Jones. A flag down on the play as he is pulled down at about the 39-yard line.
Gouveia in on that tackle along with Steve Sanders and Rodney Thomas. And let's check the penalty and see what this is.
Well, that's about the first mistake Air Force has done this afternoon. Let's see if we can pick up the hold. The reverse trap play. Nice blocking, but of course the flag is thrown. And Randy Jones hauled down at the 39-yard line.
And now Gene Wirtz, the referee, is talking to Gouveia, and the Cougars will accept this penalty. So with 9:33 remaining first quarter, and the Falcons up 14-0, Air Force will have it at the 47.
Illegal use of the hands. Offense. First down.
So it's not a hold, but illegal use of hands, a 5-yard penalty.
First down.
Falcons 39.8 points a game. They're high 59 against Rice. BYU is 8th in the nation in scoring themselves at 34.3.
For the crowd now, instead of boos, you hear cheers. First down and 15 for the Falcons. Weiss keeps the football, turns the corner, lost his footing, and stumbles up to about the 43-yard line. He might have gotten back the penalty that he marked off.
And that's about it, not even that. Weiss on this play, fake to Smith. He had Pashizniak behind him, could have pitched to him, decided to keep it, and stumbled. And really, that's why he went down as soon as he did. Steve Sanders in on the stop, though.
Second down. And let's call it 12 yards for the Falcons. 4th ranked in the country, undefeated so far this season. He wants to throw it. Throws it out to Carpenter. And finally pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line by a host of blue jerseys. Off the top of the pile is number 59, Kerry Whittingham, or Steve Sanders, excuse me, along with number 3, Rodney Thomas, the defensive back.
And Ken Carpenter out of Fort Lewis, Washington, the son of the former Lonesome End for Army. You remember Bill Carpenter, one of the great players for West Point. And Ken Carpenter is closing in on his dad's career yardage totals at Army.
Well, trailing by 14, a big third down here for BYU. Air Force needs 3 yards for the first down. Weiss marks the signal. Fakes the handoff, pulls it out, and makes his way down inside the 30-yard line, and that means first down for Air Force. Boy, is Weiss incredible with the fake into the line.
Yeah, that is the key to this offense. Wyoming has a wishbone offense, too, but the Cougars were able to beat them 59-0 because they don't execute it as well as the Falcons do. There you see, he just slides in the gap there for a first down at the 30-yard line. The Falcons are threatening again. And
Weiss is closing in on that 1,000-yard mark for a season on the ground. Only needed 46 coming into this ball game.
They just brought Tyrone Jeffcoat, the speedster wide receiver, into the game. He's only caught 1 pass all year, but the Cougars have to be wary.
First down at 10, Air Force. Jeffcoat, the man you talked of. Up top, Weiss looking for 6. Throws to his tight end and hauled down out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
I think there might have been movement on the left side of the Air Force line.
Hugh Brennan made the catch, the 6'4", 231-pound senior, but yes, there are flags at about the 27 and the 30-yard line.
8:03 left first quarter. That's what it was, illegal procedure on the left side of the Air Force line. But on the play, Jeffcoat was flanked out to the right, and using him as a decoy, Weiss throws left. And a nice catch by Brennan with Thomas on the tackle, but it goes for naught.
One thing about Air Force, Chris, is that with their type of offensive strategy, they really can throw a defense off. They run the football, of course, with the wishbone attack, but who would have guessed Weiss was going to go up top on that particular play?
And on the other side of the ball, Robbie Bosco last year said when the Falcons gave him trouble, it was because they mixed up their coverages so well. I guess they've done that today.
First down at 15, 8 minutes and 3 seconds to play, first quarter, and the Falcons of Air Force on top by a score of 14-0. Weiss takes the handoff, and he is pulled down by, guess who? Big number 99, Jason Buck, the team leader in sacks. Had 10.5 sacks coming into this ball game, add another.
What a fabulous season Jason Buck has had. I don't know who was supposed to block him, but whoever was didn't complete his assignment, and Buck throws Weiss for a loss of 3 back to the 38.
And now there's talk that Jason Buck, an All-American candidate, that's hard to argue with.
No, not at all. He's had a great season out of Ricks College in Rexburg, Idaho.
And what's interesting is he used to be a quarterback. And they made him into a defensive end. One of the best. Second down, an 18-yard. Weiss wants to throw the football. Ken Carpenter makes the reception down about the 23. And they will be 3 yards shy of the first down.
Well, Carpenter is the man they go to when they have to throw the football. No question about that. And as we see on the play, the pass out to Weiss's left. Thomas is on him, but not before a gain of 15 yards to the 23. And the Falcons now face 3rd and 3. Today, third down conversions. They have faced 3 of those occasions. They have converted all 3 times. BYU 0 for 2 in similar situations.
3rd down and 3. Once again, another big play for the Cougars defense. The handoff goes to the big fullback, and he's going to be stopped short, I believe, with the first down. Johnny Smith, the man to carry the football, a 5'9", 194-pound junior out of Fayetteville, Georgia.
So we will see Tom Ruby, we presume. Ruby this year on the field goal attempts from this one would be 39 yards. Between the 30 and the 40, he is 3 for 4. He's 8 for 15 overall.
And a glaring fact.
Oh, they're not going to kick. They're going to go for it on 4th down and a long 2.
Well, a bold move by Fisher DeBerry. The crowd on their feet. 4th down and a long yard to go. Weiss telling the official he cannot hear. And now they have to call timeout. I think Weiss had a good complaint.
He did. He did. So many whack coaches when they come into Cougar Stadium and the 65,000 plus fans. So many whack coaches complain about it.
With 5:59 to play, the Falcons of Air Force lead the Cougars of BYU by a score of 14-0. We'll be back with more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
Important message from Pizza Hut.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, for a very short time, Pizza Hut is offering a large pizza for a medium charge. Just for writing, make it a large, medium charge on a piece of paper and bringing it into Pizza Hut. It is that easy. Make it a large, medium charge on any piece of paper. Any questions?
Now at Pizza Hut, a large pizza or Priazzo Italian pie for a medium charge when we get it in writing from you.
The warehouse prices at Pay and Pack's November month-long sale mean you can afford a new kitchen for the holidays. Come see our complete kitchen cabinet displays and compare our prices with anyone in town. Bring in your kitchen dimensions and the experts at the Pack will help you draw up plans, give you an estimate, and show you how easy installing them can be. Wall units, base units, corner units, and sink units. The Pack has them all at 20% off. Price, selection, and real do-it-yourself help. That's what's cooking at the Pack.
Welcome back to Provo. Craig Buller-Jack along with Chris Tunis. Bart Weiss talking things over with his head coach, Fisher DeBerry. Forced to call timeout, Chris, as the crowd here really, the volume must have gone up about 10 decibels.
And Weiss just 15 yards away now from 1,000 yards rushing on the season.
4th down and a yard and a half for Air Force. Again, Weiss says he cannot hear. And the official this time steps in.
And they could conceivably call a delay of game penalty on the defense in a moment. You'll probably see the Cougar defenders waving their arms, trying to bring the decibel level down. The Denver Post did a good story this week I don't know what the announcement was by Kenneth Karchner, the PA announcer, but apparently that was it. Calm down or else your Cougars are going to be penalized. We'll get to that Denver Post story in a moment.
And how many times when you have the announcer, please ask the crowd to be quiet, it only sees the problem worsen. Again, Weiss brings his troops to the line at the 22-yard line, 4th down and 1.5 yards. This time the play goes off and busted down in the backfield by Sean Knight. Weiss faked the handoff to his fullback, and Air Force returned the football down after failing on 4th and about 1 yard.
Whether after this game is over we will consider this a turning point, who knows, but Sean Knight wrestling down, 2 points takedown for BYU.
It has not been what you call a good start for BYU. Bosco, 2 interceptions on the first 2 possessions, and Bosco and company back at it again. In the backfield, Hey Mooley, that's Tom Tuipulotu, gets the handoff, tries the left side, and is met head-on, flags fly, and he is pulled down just over the 25-yard line. Give him 1 yard on the play.
Cougar running game has been rather effective in recent weeks, and at that time as Tuipulotu was met head-on by Air Force defenders. Penalty apparently is against the Cougars, at least that's what the Falcons are signaling. Here's the referee, Gene Wirtz. It's a hold. Let's see if we can see it on the replay. Bosco, Heimuli leading Tuipulotu. You see the defender charging Ziegler from the left side, and could have been Tidwell, not sure.
So they take the penalty, Chris, and that marches them back inside the 15-yard line.
Holding. Offense. 1st down.
Holding was 1 yard in front of the line of scrimmage, so the Cougars will face 1st and 19 at their own 15.
5 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. Bosco 0 for 7, 2 interceptions so far this afternoon. Bosco on 1st down, wants to throw it. Feels the pressure, now push down the pocket, chase down and hauled down. He throws the football, but I believe the official right on the scene will mark it down at the 3-yard line, and Robbie should have not even attempted to throw that football.
Had one of those last week in the Utah State game as well. No, that was very dumb on his part. But he was getting pressure applied to him. There you see with the Falcons coming in. And playing off the block once again is Chad Hennings, who forced the first interception, and he is all over Robbie Bosco. Also coming in, John Ziegler. They're 2 good ones for the Falcons on the line. 5 minutes left, 1st quarter. Air Force with those 2 early scores, still leading 14-0.
Hennings and Ziegler, Chris, the quarterback sack exchange, 7 each coming into this ball game, and a team total of 34. So Air Force really does rush the passer well. Bosco in his own end zone wants to throw it. Feels the pressure, directing traffic. Still has time. Now runs back, throws one. Caught on the sideline by Bellini and pushed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
That's incredible. Incredible how long that Bosco was able to hold the football. And if we can see on this long shot, the coverage by Air Force, they rushed only 3 men on that 2nd and 31 play. And you see, a guy like 67 for Air Force, Terry Mackey, their great linebacker, just hanging in there, floating in the zone. Now he tries to rush in. Ziegler almost gets the sack on Bosco. Finally, he finds Bellini. It's still 3rd and 2 counties, 3rd and 19 at the 15-yard line.
They might have gained about a half a foot on that particular play, and Bosco used about 30 seconds up just to get the football off. The backs are split. Bosco, 3rd down and 19, steps up in the pocket, wants to throw, now across the grain and almost picked off by the defensive back, A.J. Scott.
And listen to those boos by the Cougar fans. The Cougars look totally confused and baffled. Offensively, defensively, they're a little confused and baffled.
Well, Bosco again read the pressure well, Chris. He stepped up into the pocket, and really a nice defensive play by A.J. Scott, looking towards that far sideline to try to open things up just a bit. So Towle is in to kick with 4:28 to play, 1st quarter. Not a good kick. A line drive type taken at about the 45-yard line and upended. A nice defensive effort by BYU special teams.
Is there a fumble?
There is a fumble, and I believe BYU may have recovered. Now a fight breaks out.
Jeff Wilcox out of Hillcrest High in Salt Lake City. Right in there, Terry Mackey. Well, he goes after the good ones, doesn't he? Steve Sanders with his helmet off, the BYU linebacker.
4 minutes and 17 seconds to play. Air Force on top of the Cougars, 14-0. We'll be back with more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
This but's for all that you do. You keep America going. You keep the juices flowing. You are the muscle, the hope and the hustle. You keep the country growing, and you make America work, and this but's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This but's for you.
Burger King would like you to take the quarter-pound quiz. Ready? Who has the quarter-pound double burger topped with hot melted Swiss and the tender sliced mushrooms you crave? The quarter-pound double cheeseburger smothered in pizza sauce and the melted mozzarella you long for? And the double cheeseburger with taco sauce and jalapeno cheese, all for a limited time only. Excellent. Aren't you hungry for Burger King now?
The Air Force Academy leading the Cougars of BYU by a score of 14-0. We want to just welcome a worldwide audience today on the Armed Forces Network. Welcome, guys. Hope you're enjoying this ball game.
Thanks for joining us.
4:17 to play. Weiss keeps the football, looks for the pitch man, instead turns it upfield, and BYU pursues and tackles Weiss down at about the 45-yard line. A pick up a 2 on the play.
Kurt Govea and Lanakeo, two of the gentlemen in on the tackle, and on the previous punt by Tao, you see Scott Thomas take it, and he heads left, and he gets a couple good blocks. Let's see if we can tell where the fight broke out. At least the scuffle, let's not call it a fight. The unarmed tackle for BYU was Bruce Hansen on the play. Ruled no fumble.
2nd down and 7, 3:42 and counting, first quarter. Weiss pitches the football out to Randy Jones. Turns it upfield, slides, and falls down at the 45. And it will be 2nd down and 7.
Randy Jones, the senior out of Corpus Christi, Texas, has thrown 5 passes this year. He has completed 2 of those. And you can see he had an idea about passing this time, but he was pressured by Steve Sanders and Leon White, and he goes down at the 45-yard line. It is 3rd and 8.
The thing about Fisher DeBerry, he likes to throw out a few trick plays on occasion as well, and that really, really makes a defense play honest. Bart Weiss, 3 of 3 for 36 yards and a touchdown this afternoon. Randy Jones catching that 21-yard pass to put Air Force on top early after a Bosco interception. Weiss wants to throw the football. Going for all of it, and there's some contact made at about the 15-yard line, but no flags are thrown.
Contact between Mark Sherman, the Cougar safety, and Ken Carpenter. And apparently the feeling of the officials was that Carpenter had no chance to catch the football, so nothing was called. Here's Bart Weiss, plenty of time. And watch the contact here. Good call. You decide.
Chris, I think Carpenter just ran the wrong route.
Okay, maybe. Might have been. Falcons punting for the first time today.
Mark Simon in, ranks number 1 in the nation. This kid's got a foot on him, a 47.8-yard average, and he's a dandy. A left-footed kicker and a nice spiral kick angling towards the sideline, and boy, what a job he did.
He's got it inside the 10, right about the 10-yard line. That'll cut down on his average, but he doesn't mind one bit. 2:40 left, first quarter. BYU was starting its 5th series of downs. Twice they've been intercepted. They ended a series, and twice they've punted.
Well, I don't think Lavelle Edwards is the type of coach that will break out of his game plan this early in the contest despite being down, Chris, by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, no, not at all. Although at the 10-yard line, you're restricted in what you can do.
Well, Robbie Bosco, we mentioned wearing number 7. I'm almost thinking maybe he ought to go back and put on number 6. Of course, Glenn Kozlowski wore that number, and he is out for the rest of the season. In fact, his career as a collegiate player is over after suffering a knee injury. Bosco on first down, wants to throw, feels the pressure, push down the pocket, now gets one downfield, and almost picked off. The intended receiver, numbered 85, Scott Norberg, DeJuan Wilson there on the coverage.
Ty Hankomer on the pressure. That forced Bosco to get rid of it sooner than he'd like. You see Hankomer being blocked at first, but then he's able to get the pressure on. And another guy was coming in from the back. Wilson, darn, came near close to intercepting that ball.
And Norberg just about got the football as he was falling to the turf. Bosco is getting time to throw the football. But you can't ask for your offensive line to give you 15 seconds every pop. Bosco again wants to throw. They do the swing pass to Kelly Smith. He is met head-on and fights his way up to the 8-yard line, and they will lose 2 yards on that play. Steve Sigler, the man to meet him.
So Bosco has completed 2 short passes. He's thrown, I believe, 10, maybe 11. And the Cougars face again a long situation, 3rd and 12.
Chris, I kind of like the way, though, that they're trying to counter that pressure.
Yeah.
They let them flow through and then go with the little screen pass, hoping that they would find some people out of position.
And the Cougar screen pass has been successful all year.
1:57 and counting. BYU faced with 3rd down and 12. And Bosco wants to throw. His back's coming out of the backfield. Throws one down across the green and knocked away. Bellini, the intended receiver. Tommy Rotello, the 5'11", 179-pound junior, there to make a great defensive effort.
Bellini had a step on Rotello, but the ball comes up a bit short. This time, Robbie with plenty of time. And he's got Bellini somewhat open, but Rotello, 3 Falcons in that zone. Here's the punt by Tao.
Loses the football. Now he's going to have to be forced to run it out of the end zone and pushed out of bounds at about the 19. And Chris, he'll be short of the 1st down by about a yard. That was not planned, I guarantee you.
Oh, no. And you see who pushed him out? Tommy Rotello, and he apparently has a shoulder injury. He's dropping that right shoulder down. There you see a good snap, just mishandled by Tao. He hasn't done that too often this year. He avoids the first man in, that Ty Hankemer, and then runs left side, and he comes up a couple yards short of the 1st down. And again, a gift for Air Force. They start on the Cougar 18-yard line.
They have had tremendous field position all afternoon. 1:36 to play in this opening quarter. Bart Weiss, the quarterback. A senior out of Naples, Florida. Air Force in the wishbone. The first man through is fullback Johnny Smith, and he is met by a host of blue jerseys. He might have picked up a yard on the play.
Air Force with the nation's longest winning streak at 13 in a row. And we should also tell you that Air Force is the last WAC team to win in Cougar Stadium. They did that back in '82 in the first game in the expanded Cougar Stadium when they expanded from 35,000 to 65,000 seats. The Falcons that afternoon driving 99 yards in the final 2 minutes for a 39-38 win.
2nd down and 8. The clock continues to run. 1 minute to play, 1st quarter. White takes the handoff, keeps it now, tries to pitch the football out to his halfback, Randy Jones. He could not turn the corner. Up to make the tackle for BYU, number 5, Mark Sherman, the free safety.
And Kurt Gouveia was in. You'll check this play here. There's the fake to the up man. And then Gouveia was pressuring, as was Steve Sanders. He was able to get the pitch out to Jones, and Sherman makes a good tackle at the 14. 3rd down and 6, another 3rd down situation for the Falcons.
30 seconds to play. This should probably do it for this 1st quarter. Bart Weiss wears number 4, walks up to his center in the wishbone formation. 20 seconds to play. 3rd and 7. He wants to throw, feels the pressure. Buck is there, still on his feet. Now Sean Knight comes in to finish him off, and he'll be tackled at the 31-yard line.
A 17-yard loss on the play for the Falcons.
As we watch Buck come in on the tackle, Sean Knight will finish off Weiss. We'll be back in Provo on the Cougar Sports Network.
If you've ever had transmission problems, you know how frustrating and expensive it can be. That's why Interstate Transmission suggests that you take care of your car before it takes care of you and your wallet. And for a limited time, Interstate Transmissions is making it even easier to take care of your transmission with a maintenance special for only $8.95 plus fluid and filter. So if you have transmission problems or just want to prevent them, try Interstate Transmissions. Quality service at competitive prices.
Turn on style. Turn it on. Bright ideas are here for you. Warm a room. Keep it cool. Genco lighting sets the mood. Genco lighting for bright ideas.
Find the largest selection of lighting fixtures in southern Colorado at Genco Lighting, including Tiffany's, chandeliers, and fans. Our everyday low prices make new fixtures affordable today.
Genco lighting for bright ideas.
KRDO News 13, the only station in Colorado to receive the 1985 Associated Press General Excellence Award. News 13, recipient of more awards than any station in Southern Colorado, receiving first place for Best Newscast, Best Sportscast, Best Spot News for continuing coverage of the Valentine's Day triple homicide, Top General reporting for the Air Force Academy graduation, and Best Feature for coverage of the Special Olympics. Watch the award-winning team of News 13 nightly at 5:30 and 10. News 13, a step ahead.
Craig Bowler-Jack along with Chris Tunis. Welcome back to Provo. On the field wearing number 5, Tom Ruby, the field goal kicker for Air Force. Chris, this will be a 47-yard attempt, and Ruby 1 of 7 from that distance. The ball is up, and it is no good. It went wide to the left.
Credit the BYU defense with saving that possession for the Cougar defense, because the Air Force started on the 18 after the fumbled punt, and the Falcons lost 12 yards, in fact, on the net back to the 30. So BYU starts at the 30, 4 seconds into the second quarter. Air Force ahead 14-0.
Robbie Bosco has his back split. Now, in the slot goes Kelly Smith. The lone back is Hey Mooley. Bosco on first down. Wants to throw it across the middle. It is caught by Smith. A pickup of 5, and that's where he's hauled down at. That's the 35.
And a very late block by Scott Robinson of the Cougars, but no flag was called on that. Something that the BYU, I'm sure, would like to do here. They'd like to establish the running game, although they haven't shown any indication that they want to. But there's Bosco to Kelly Smith, one of the top 20 receivers in the country. And a gain of 5 out to the 35-yard line. Right over the middle, you see the runners coming out of the backfield. Kelly Smith met right away by Air Force's linebacker Mike Chandler.
Second down and 5. The backs are split. Bosco again wants to throw the football. Plenty of time. Steps up in the pocket, fires one to the sideline, and it is cut there by Bellini. Tom Rotello, the man to push him out of bounds. And Bellini makes the big catch for BYU to put them right at midfield.
About 15 yards on the play. We mentioned 4 Cougars in the top 20 in receiving, and one is Mark Bellini, 11th in the nation at 5.6 catches a game. Good protection for Bosco. He stands in that pocket. Bellini gets open, a leaping catch. Rotello on the hit, so I guess that shoulder injury wasn't that severe.
It's amazing that he is ranked 11th in the nation, considering he missed 3 ball games because of that shoulder separation.
That's right.
First down and 10. BYU at the midfield line. The delayed draw to Hey Mooley has worked all year long. He tries to break off right tackle, but hauled down and might have picked up a yard on the play.
Pushing and shoving with Scott Robinson, Cougar offensive tackle, and one of the Falcons. And the Falcons were blitzing on that play. Chandler making the stop along with Scott Thomas.
This has kind of been BYU's bread and butter play all year long, Chris, but Air Force showing some very strong up-front people on that particular play, reading the play very well. 13:38 to play in the first half, and the Falcons holding on to that 2-touchdown lead. Second down and 9. Bosco fires one across the middle. Norberg makes the catch at the 33. Scott Thomas gave him a hard lick, but Norberg hung on to the football, and BYU has moved into Air Force territory.
Scott Norberg is replacing Len Kozlowski. Moved into the lineup first when Kozlowski left in the Temple game with his original knee injury. You see the cut to the inside there, and right there is Thomas, but not before the Cougars gain 17 yards on the play. And Bosco is signaling, and I'm not sure what he's signaling to the Cougar sideline about.
Chris, some of those plays are, of course, signaled in from the sideline, and Bosco taking a look on first down. They're going to throw the football once again. Fires across the middle. Bellini makes the leaping catch at the 20-yard line. Dwayne Wilson, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, makes the tackle, and all of a sudden BYU's passing game is working.
Also in on the tackle, Terry Mackey, and you can see Mackey right there in the zone coverage. And they man with the corners and zone in the middle. And BYU now with another first down. They started the drive on their 30 after the missed field goal, and they have moved it now to the Air Force 22.
Now the best field position so far for the Cougars, and timeout has been called, so Lavelle Edwards wants to talk things over with his quarterback. With that, we will step aside. The Falcons of Air Force leading the Cougars 14-0. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network.
Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight.
Rob, when you get a chance. So, are you gonna call her? I'm thinking about it. 2 Coors Light, Rob. What's there to think about? Call her. I said I might. Arnold, there were 100 guys in here last night. She talked to you. Jack, I was sitting on her coat. It's a very unique approach. Give me the quarter. Rob, you got a quarter?
There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Coors Light beer.
Skipper's introduces the new chicken nugget and fish all-you-can-eat special, featuring all the mouth-watering white meat chicken nuggets and all the tender fish fillets you can eat, plus fries, chowder, and more for one low price. Skipper's chicken nugget and fish all-you-can-eat special, only at Skipper's.
Seafood, baby, come on down to Skipper's for some seafood.
And welcome back to Provo. Craig Bullerjack along with Chris Tunis. We just saw the entire BYU offense, Chris, leave the field and go talk to the head coaches.
That's unheard of for BYU. Air Force's defense normally does that, but not the Cougar offense. First down and 10 at the 22.
The backs are split. Hey Mooley and Kelly Smith in your backfield. They come out. Bosco feels the pressure. Now throws one downfield in the end zone. Bellini touchdown. Mark Bellini, the junior out of San Leandro, California, pulls down his 12th touchdown of the season. And here we go on the replay.
All right. Here's the time. Well, not much time. He had to step up into the pocket. And then Bosco over the middle. Bellini had beaten Dwan Wilson for 6 points. I think that's Scott Thomas. He had beaten Thomas, the free safety. You see Bosco and Thomas in a zone, so it wasn't man. Covering him on the man was Malachowski.
The extra point to come, Gary Webster. The kick is up, and it is good. BYU on the scoreboard, 12 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the first half. We'll be back with more college action on the Cougar Sports Network.
Here's an offer you can really gobble up. Get a free turkey and ham when you buy any new or used car or truck from Gene Osborne Toyota. It's our pre-holiday sale, and that means new gas-engine Tercels or top Toyota pickups, just $59.99, your choice. Plus, a gift certificate for a fresh plump turkey and a big juicy ham, both free from Babe's Meat Market. Just purchase any new or used car or truck. The holidays are just around the corner, and your holiday dinner all starts here at Gene Osborne Toyota.
Hi, here at Batista Superfoods, we've been telling you all along to beware the hidden cost of the triple coupon game. Well, I suggest you try Batistas. 5,000 Coloradans have already changed the way they shop for food. We have absolute minimum prices, including Kellogg Corn Flakes, an 18-ounce box at $1.29, or ground beef, only 89 cents a pound. Batistas gives you low prices on every item every day, and that's savings for you. You get the total lowest food bill every week. Batistas will change the way you shop for food.
Tom Rotello. Chris, let me ask you, momentum, has it shifted?
It may have. I know the Cougar fans aren't booing anymore, and they're feeling a lot better about things. Down 7 points with 12:46 left first half.
So BYU will kick it off. Ormsby gets one to fall, end over end, back to receive. Scott Thomas makes a cut up the middle, and he is met head-on and tackled down at the 18-yard line. Let's go down to Charlene Wells with this update. Crowd noise just a little heavy down. Laticeo, we understand, has been injured and will not return for BYU, and that could hurt. On first down, Air Force at their own 18-yard line in that wishbone formation. The first man up the middle, the fullback, Pat Evans. And he gets his way over the 20-yard line. Might have picked up 2 on the play.
We were wondering why we saw Steve Sanders in there so early, backup linebacker. Earlier in the year, he replaced Kerry Whittingham when he broke a bone in his hand.
I believe we've got our communication lines reopened. Charlene, what is going on with the injury situation for BYU?
As of right now, Laticeo has a recurring pinched nerve. He is out of the game for the rest of the game, and he's not too happy about it. Craig?
All right, thank you, Charlene. That's number 51, Laticeo, a very talented 6'3", 217-pound junior. The handoff goes to Evans once again. So Air Force has come back with their running game, and they're running right at BYU.
And no surprise there that they're trying to do it on the ground. The Cougars, 70 yards, 5 plays, just over 2 minutes. Didn't waste much time. And Bellini with the 23-yard pass, Robbie Bosco's 25th touchdown pass of the season. The Falcons with the football, and they scored 2 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of this game. In the first quarter statistics, first downs, the Cougars not 1 first down in the first quarter, only 26 yards total, only 8 yards passing for the #1 passing team in the nation. 6 turnovers there, which is not correct at all. 0 for Air Force. You see the Falcons, 92 yards, a nice solid offense in the first half, 3 for 4 passing for Bart Weiss. Well, on that measurement, it just comes up a little short. So, short by, well, it looks like about a yard the way they have it now, almost a full yard.
But the length of the football, Chris, and the wave beginning to try to work its way into motion here at Cougar Stadium in Provo. So Air Force Academy on the Cougar 28-yard line. They will be faced with 3rd down and about a foot to go. A big down for both of these ball clubs. BYU anchors themselves up front. The handoff to the fullback, Evans. I don't think he got it. This will be close.
I don't think he did, and Mark Sherman was in on that. The free safety for BYU. We saw Kyle Morrell last year in on several of those up-close plays. They'll measure one more time. The Falcons scoring against the Cougars in the first quarter. BYU had shut out its last 2 opponents, Wyoming and Utah State. They had not allowed a point in 9 consecutive quarters, not allowed a touchdown in 10 consecutive quarters. But the Falcons certainly ended that in a hurry.
And they did not get it. BYU has held, and I believe that ball was marked down exactly where they started off on that last play. So Air Force failed to pick up any yardage.
Might have gained a foot.
And they will be faced now with 4th down.
And the Cougar fans love that as the Air Force punting unit comes on. Listen to it.
Back to punt, of course, Mark Simon. His longest this season, Chris, 83 yards. Can he boom it or what?
Fabulous kicker. 47-yard average.
And Visikahema respects that distance as he trots back to about the 27, 28-yard line.
He's 52 yards away from the line of scrimmage right now, Sikahema is.
A good snap. Left-footed kicker angling towards the sideline. Look at that. Sikahema on the run at his own 22. Catches the football. Picks his way upfield and finally hauled down at about the 30. And another push and shove match goes on. Talk about tempers, and there is emotion in this ball game. Make no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot on the line. New Year's Day bowl game, nation's longest winning streak. Cougar offense, which responded with a 70-yard touchdown drive a short while ago. As you see, Visikahema, the NCAA career leader in punt returns. This is Sikahema walking off the field. Robbie Bosco back in the huddle. Air Force's defense only allowing 11 points a game. They are 6th in the nation. And let's see if they're up to the task this time.
Well, of course, they're up against the #1 ranked team offensively. 518 yards a pop every time BYU plays a football game. Bosco feels the pressure. Flings one out, and as he felt the pressure, he went down through the football. I'm surprised no flags were thrown.
Should have been a flag. Should have been
grounding.
Somebody was sleeping.
You see number 67, Mackey, talking
I
things
think
over.
Are they calling a sack? That's what they're calling. But he was in the grasp, and it's a loss of 13 yards on the play. So it's 2nd and 23 from BYU at their 18-yard line with 11 minutes left in the first half, and Air Force up 14-7.
You know, I don't think you can criticize BYU's offensive line, Chris. They have given Robbie Bosco time.
They've done a good job.
But when do you draw the limit? 10, 15 seconds, or what? 7 of 18, 84 yards, 2 interceptions, and the 1 touchdown to Bellini. On 2nd down, Bosco across the middle. The catch is made by the big tight end, Trevor Malini. And he pulls a couple of defenders over the 30-yard line, so it will be 3rd down and a long 9.
And Trevor Malini, that's the first reception of the day for him. He had 60 coming into this season, or into this game rather. Catches it over the middle. Malini just 6 away from Gordon Hudson's BYU record of 67 catches in a season, and only 9 now away from the NCAA record for a tight end, 70 catches. That was done in 1983 by Mark Dowdell of Bowling Green and Chuck Scott of Vanderbilt.
And Chris, for a lot of people on our network this afternoon, that's the first look at number 94. This kid, very talented, 6'3", 231, and just a sophomore.
Out of Reno, Nevada.
And Bosco did not like the defensive setup of Air Force and is forced to call timeout. So with 3rd down and 9, Bosco is going to chat things over with Lavelle Edwards. We'll be back with more football action on the Cougar Sports Network.
Falcons won in that 1982 home opener for BYU in the newly expanded stadium.
So once again, BYU's offense left the field, talked things over with the coaching staff. They are back and faced with 3rd down and 9. Bosco wants to throw the football. Again, the pressure is on. Runs his way out of trouble. He's got open field. Bosco at the 35, the 40, and slides his way over to the 41. And a heads-up play by Robbie Bosco. He knew the yardage he needed, and he got the 1st down.
And met by Rotello. Bosco under the official right now. Mark Bellini helping him up.
41 yards.
And Chris, on the replay, I think you will see Robbie Bosco directing traffic downfield. This is a big plus for Robbie, and the players respect him for it. He gets in trouble. Now watch him. I believe he's directing Bellini to help him block downfield, and he'll raise his hand right there.
Yes.
And he did screen the defender just enough to get him over to 40, and I believe he's just got the 1st down.
Well, they'll bring the chains in to make sure. Robbie Bosco out of Roseville, California, the Roseville Rifle. Saw him the first time at BYU in a varsity game in his sophomore season. It is the 1st down. Bosco succeeding Steve Young here. Had to come in the Utah State game when Young suffered a mild concussion. And Bosco threw a touchdown pass to Gordon Hudson, and that was the start of Bosco's varsity career.
And, of course, Bosco was one of the early season favorites to win the Heisman Trophy. But a lot of people do not know that he did suffer some shoulder injuries throughout this season, and the interceptions have just killed him.
That's true. Yes, indeed.
9:41 and counting. 1st half, the Falcons of Air Force leading the Cougars by a score of 14-7. In motion comes Kelly Smith. And the catch was made by Molini, and he took a wicked shot by Scott Thomas. So BYU continues to throw the football.
Excuse me, Craig. Scott Thomas was the man Air Force built for All-American honors prior to the start of the season, and you can see why the way that he hammers Bellini on this play, or Trevor Molini on this play. Oh, just a super hit. That was a catch. You can't rule it as a catch, but, I mean, he should have had that ball had Thomas not applied such a hard hit.
I think the BYU coaching staff also to try to cut down on some of the pursuit by Air Force defensive front line. Bosco's now rolling to his right and left just a little bit more. A quick out pass to his tight end. Molini makes the grab, tried to turn the corner, and is pulled down by Scott Thomas, the senior out of San Antonio, Texas.
Thomas making the tackle.
So the Cougars will face a 3rd down situation. As you can see, Bosco, quick pass to the right side to Molini. And Thomas hanging on him again and bringing him down.
46-yard line.
3rd down 5 for BYU at their 46. Lavelle Edwards, 13th season as head coach of BYU. Before that, 11 years as an assistant here.
Now, this is a guy that never grins or smiles much. You always like to know what this guy's thinking. A great guy. On 3rd down, Bosco wants to throw the football across the middle, intercepted by Dwayne Wilson. He tries the right side, turns the corner. He's at the 35, the 30, the 25, 20. He tiptoes down the sideline. Touchdown. But there are flags.
And I think that comes on the run back. It will be an interception. You see, Molini is injured slightly on the play. He is being helped off the field around the 50-yard line. There you see Trevor Molini being carried off by one of the Cougar trainers, Anshawn Knight. Air Force will have possession of the football, we believe, after the interception. What a great play by Dwan Wilson there, just playing rover in that zone and coming up with the interception, running it back almost all the way, about 60 yards for a touchdown. He's running it back indeed for a touchdown, but watch the penalty.
Chris, I thought, as you
Clip
see...
is on BYU. It is a touchdown.
It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, so the interception will stand. DeJuan Wilson returns it for the touchdown, and BYU trails now by a score of 20-7.
Wilson cut in front of one of the Cougars receivers. He had a bevy of blockers in front of him. Terry Mackey for one. Also A.J. Scott. Also Scott Thomas, who blocks there on BYU. Scott Robinson. Bosco the last shot, but no chance. Touchdown Falcons. 20-7 Air Force. 8:36 left 1st half. And the Air Force secondary now has accounted for 2 touchdowns with interception runbacks.
3 interceptions for Robbie Bosco this afternoon. That has been the difference in this ball game.
We were just trying to think before this game when the last time was that BYU trailed by as many as 14 points in the game. They've been down by 11 a couple times this year. I have to think back. They were down by 11 at Pitt last year, not in the last 2 seasons.
So the extra point to come, Air Force with a chance to go on top by a score of 21-7, and that's exactly what the case is here in Provo. Air Force, 4th ranked in the country, leads BYU 21-7. We'll be back with more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
For all that you do, somehow you always come through. You keep it going, your pride's really showing. No.
3 turnovers by BYU, and the Falcons have turned every turnover into points.
And the penalty, the clip, happened after the touchdown play by Dwan Wilson, so they will assess that penalty on BYU on the kickoff, and the Falcons will kick it off from the Brigham Young 45-yard line.
Tom Ruby will kick it off, and I don't think this young man will have much trouble getting it into the end zone if he desires.
I don't know if he wants to. He probably wants to squib it. Line drive type of kick.
We will soon find out. Tom Ruby wears number 5, and the kick is
onside.
Onside kick, surprising a few folks. The ball fumbles, and out of the bounds it runs at about the 37-yard line, and it will be BYU football. Steve Sanders touched it last, number 59. So BYU, a break there.
Well, another thing, it didn't go the required 10 yards. So Brigham Young starts at their 36-yard line, and they have not started one possession inside the 50. Robbie Bosco coming back onto the field to another chorus of boos from the Cougar faithful. 3 interceptions, 2 of them run back for touchdowns by Rotello and Wilson, and Bosco has now thrown 20 interceptions, I think that's 21 on the season.
And of course, the first interception he threw, Randy Jones took it in later for a 21-yard touchdown.
That's right.
Bosco on first down, play action, wants to throw, feels the pressure, flags are down, and he's going to be pulled down at the 21-yard line. Dick Clark in to make the stop.
The thing about Air Force's defense is they have as much confidence, almost as much in the second team as they do in the first. Holding penalty BYU. I would imagine they would decline that one and take the sack, because that puts the Cougars all the way back from their 36 to the 23. Here you see the pressure, and well, it was also Hennings in on the play, and finally dragging Bosco down is Dick Clark, 13-yard loss.
And that is not the man who does American Bandstand. Dick Clark, 6 feet 230, a senior out of Richmond, Virginia. Second down and a half a mile to go. Bosco wants to throw it. Screen pass to Mooley. He's got running room. He turns the corner at the 35 to 40 and tackled out of bounds at the 41-yard line. A.J. Scott, the first man to meet him. Charlene Wells has finally tracked down an injury report on Trevor Malini. Charlene, how bad is it?
They've just taken Trevor right off the field. They're going to get an x-ray, and we'll keep you updated on that. Craig?
All right, Trevor Malini, an outstanding tight end for BYU, was ranked 7th in the country at the start of this ball game.
So that means Lance Lindley, the senior from Skyview, Utah, will be seeing a lot of action.
Third down and a long 5 for BYU. The backs are split. Bosco again wants to throw the football. Finds an open man. Over the first down marker is Kelly Smith, Mike Chandler, and Pat Malakowski. The 2 outstanding linebackers there to make a quick tackle on Kelly Smith.
And here's the play, and Bosco with the time this time, and a short pass to Kelly Smith. The tackle made Chandler first there. Did I say Skyview, Utah? No such place. Skyview High School from Smithfield, Utah, up in the Cache Valley area in the northern part of the state.
We understand the injury to Trevor Malini is an ankle, not a knee. And he is undergoing x-rays at this minute. On the sweep, Smith lowers his head and works his way down to about the 46-yard line. Terry Mackey, the top tackler on this Air Force linebacking core, makes the stop.
I want to talk about Mackey a little bit as we could see this play developed with Kelly Smith. Mackey in on an unbelievable 30 tackles against Notre Dame in the 21-15 Air Force victory. And he has been nominated, one of 12 nominees for the Vince Lombardi Trophy this year, Lineman of the Year. They're including linebackers in that this year, too.
Second down and 4, 7 minutes, 8 seconds and counting. First half of action here in Provo. The Cougars trail the Falcons 21-7. Bosco unloads one to his tight end. Knocked away. Good defensive effort there by number 29, Scott Thomas, the free safety.
Lindley had a step on him. You see Thomas right after that play motion to the stands. That's not in defiance of the Cougar fans. That's because the Falcons, the cadets, are in that section up in the northwest corner of the end zone. But here's Bosco going deep. He's now 10 for 26 on this gray afternoon in Provo. And Scott Thomas with a beautiful play to deflect it away from Lance Lindley, the backup tight end who's now in there because Trevor Malini is hurt.
Well, you can't defense a play much better than what Scott Thomas just did. On 3rd down and 5, Bosco, a short swing pass. It is caught at the 42 by Kelly Smith. And again, Pat Malachowski, the man to make the tackle. So on the short pass out of the backfield, Smith picks up the first down.
I think, yeah, he does have it, indeed. There you see. Just right. Just nothing fancy about that. And it is the first down for BYU. Kelly Smith ranked 16th in the nation in receiving. So you have Malini 7th, Malini 11th, Kelly Smith 16th, and running back Lakehi Muli 20th. Cougars have an arsenal of weapons. 6:45 left first half, clock running. 21-7 Air Force. It was 14-0 Air Force after 1.
David Miles checks down to the lineup. Mark Bellini back in, bringing in the play from the sideline. He is at the bottom of your screen, and Bosco rolling to his right, looking for the reverse screen pass. Kelly Smith takes it and dives his way over the 40-yard line, and they will mark it down at about the 38. So Smith picks up 3. Scott Thomas, again, the man to make the tackle.
The more I see of Scott Thomas, the more I have to think he's one of the best defensive backs in the country this year. He's all over the field. Clark trying to get pressure, Stoll trying to get pressure. He lobs it over the hands of Pat Stoll into, Bosco does, to Kelly Smith, and a gain of about 3 yards to 38 at 2nd and 7.
Kelly Smith, of course, some feared, suffered a career knee injury the second week of the season, but he's come back strong. Bosco sends his backs out of the backfield, across the middle to Smith, makes a tremendous catch, and flags are down. A.J. Scott rode him on the back, and I don't know how Kelly Smith came up with that football.
Scott was on him like a blanket. Or make that Dave King was meeting Kelly Smith and congratulating him on the play. Let's check the referee.
See the interference called against Air Force.
Now, is interference 15 yards? If so, that would be a gain of 15 instead of the play itself. Yeah, he was all over him. Kelly Smith, nice catch. Kelly Smith out of Beaver High School in southern Utah. Beaver playing for the 1A state championship today up at Barbary Stadium in Salt Lake against Kanab.
No question about it. I don't think a blanket can cover a guy better than that. There's a good look at Kelly Smith, number 21, 5'11", 182-pound senior out of Beaver, Utah. So it will be first down and 10 for BYU at the 34-yard line of Air Force. In motion is Bellini. Turns back the other way. Bosco looking for Bellini. The ball hit his leg, and the ball was still free. Incomplete pass, and that turned out to be a very dangerous play on the part of BYU. The ball up for grabs once again.
Scott Thomas in on the play, and Dwan Wilson almost came up with it after the deflection. But you see Bosco throwing along the right side. I don't know what the record is for most passes and a half. Bosco's around 30 right now. 2 men there. One of them was Rotello along with Scott Thomas. So now it is 2nd and 10 for the Cougars at the 34.
Bosco again wants to throw the football, swings it out to his halfback, Hey Mooley, and he is met very quickly at the 27-yard line by Terry Mackey and also A.J. Scott.
I think that's the first pass other than a screen to Lake Heimuli today. Originally a Tongan native and then out of Hawaii. And 2 men hit him right there, as Craig called it. Inside 5 minutes left in the second quarter. 21-7 Air Force.
Now the sun has began to peek out just a little bit, Chris. We've had snow all week long in Utah. The mountains are covered, and in fact, the ski season is open this weekend.
Yeah, that's the first weekend.
4 minutes, 35 seconds to play. The backs are split. Watch out the blitz, and Bosco is down. John Ziegler came in from that right side. Nobody touched him, and Bosco felt the heat and goes down at about the 42, the 38-yard line.
John Ziegler was the Falcons' defensive player of the game last week against Army in the 45-7 win. And there you see, no chance at all for Bosco on the 3rd down play. It is 4th down and long for BYU at the 38. And that's Kevin Towle coming in for a punt.
The ball marked down at the 38-yard line. 4 minutes and 1 second to play, first half. Towle angling towards the far sideline. Beautiful kick. But it just gets into the end zone. I thought he might have the angle on it for just a minute.
Very good attempt. Very, very nice attempt. But Air Force will start at its 20.
1,000-yard mark. 3 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. The handoff to the fullback. That's Pat Evans. He wears number 36. Let's give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Like Bart Weiss is an excellent field general, isn't he? He doesn't really remind him of Marty Laupin. Marty Laupin was the quarterback at Air Force before Weiss, and he was the guy who engineered that 39-38 win here in Provo 3 years ago. Laupin was a better passer, but Weiss maybe a better overall player in terms of running and passing the football. There aren't many in the NCAA who can say they've run for 1,000 and passed for 1,000 in the same season.
2nd down and 8 for Air Force. Weiss going up top. The catch was not made by his wide receiver, Ken Carpenter. Good coverage there by BYU secondary. Mark Sherman was there, along with Rob Ladinko.
And Sprouse and Carpenter, the intended receiver. And we have a sun-drenched field now. That's nice to see.
Good play action into the line.
Yeah, good coverage by Sprouse.
And that's the thing about the wishbone attack. Your defense becomes so used to seeing the run, and then when you do fake it and pull back and throw the football, it freezes your linebackers.
Right.
And it's a tough offense to try to cover. 3rd down conversions, 3 for 7. Air Force on the afternoon. They are faced now with 3rd down and 8. Weiss wants to throw it.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to the near sideline. The pass could not be made by Carpenter, and Air Force quickly is faced with 4th down.
Air Force stagnating a little on offense, and the Cougar fans are standing and cheering that defense, which really you can't credit for any one touchdown today.
And Chris, I'm surprised that Air Force maybe has gone away from their game plan a little bit. They run the football, and now in this particular series, they try to go to the air.
Let me explain after this punt.
The kick is away. A low driving spiral. Vaisakahema makes the catch at about the 38-yard line. He is in trouble, goes backwards, and finally hauled down at the 32. Some late hits there. I don't see a flag in the crowd. You could probably hear becoming very vocal on that particular play.
I think on that last series, Fisher DeBerry wanted to mix it up. Off balance, didn't want to play conservatively with a 14-point lead, even though the ball was deep in his own territory at the 20. And you have to salute him for that. They're going for it.
Fisher DeBerry, of course, just in his 2nd season at the Air Force Academy as a head coach. Of course, he was an offensive coordinator before that with the Falcons. Ken Hatfield then took off and is now at Arkansas. The lone back, Hey Mooley. Bosco on 1st down, throws it towards the sideline. Bellini, no, the ball did skip before he made the grab. A good call there by the men in black and white.
I don't know why Bellini's complaining, because it was an incomplete pass, no doubt about it. You'll see it on the replay. Bounce. An incomplete pass. Fans don't like it, but they don't have the benefit of the replay.
You got to like Mark Bellini, 6 feet, 180, a junior. He's a field general out there. And, of course, since Glenn Kozlowski went down with the injury, Mark Bellini has been the man a lot of players have looked to for leadership.
Fine player.
He works his way towards the near sideline. The lone back, Hey Mooley. Play action. Bosco flips it out to Kelly Smith at the 40. And he works his way to the 45-yard line. Mike Chandler, the first man to meet him, and he hauls him down, but not before BYU picks up a 1st down.
Mike Chandler, 2nd leading tackler for the Falcons, and not only is he a tough, hard-nosed linebacker, he's also quick, because Kelly Smith has speed. Watch Chandler just drag him down at the 45-yard line. So BYU with that 1st down now, and the clock running at 2:37 left, first half.
Thinking of timeouts as Smith works his way up to the 1st down marker. BYU has 1 remaining in this half, Air Force 2. That could become a factor later in this 1st half. Hey Mooley gets the swing pass, lowers his head, and is met head on at about the 49-yard line. The inside linebackers, Mike Chandler and Terry Mackey, popped him right in the numbers.
Yes, he did, and both of them did, and they're both good ones. There's Bosco. Hankemer trying to bring the pressure from the right side. Lake Heimuli on a little flare pass out there, and Mackey with the primary tackle on the play.
2nd down and 6. We're under 2 minutes to play first half. Bosco, another swing pass. Flips it to Heimuli. Shifts his way back, and now is caught and pulled down at the 40. John Ziegler playing his position. He refused to give up on that play, and Ziegler, wearing number 74, makes the tackle, and the Cougars lose yardage on that play.
Let's also credit Ty Hankemer for the Air Force Academy. He, the defensive end, junior out of Temple, Texas, because he had the original pressure on Bosco and then came back and almost made the tackle. Ziegler made it before he did.
Kelly Smith will check out of the lineup for BYU. Tom Tuipolotu in the backfield now, along with Heimuli. On 3rd down, Bosco looking to pass the football, finds a receiver along the near sideline. That was David Miles, but Tom Rotello, the defensive back for Air Force there, Chris, to break that pass play up.
Rotello not giving Miles much of an opportunity. They were down around the sideline there. Drop back Bosco. I want to see the running to passing ratio in this first half. The Cougars figured they could throw. Utah threw for 347 yards against Air Force in their 37-15 loss, and I'm sure that was it. That was the thought when they were formulating their game plan.
Kevin Towle back in to punt the ball away. Gets a nice kick, a beauty. And this one bounces and will be down at about the 3-yard line. What a kick by Kevin Towle.
Great kick. Unfortunately, it may not matter much for BYU because with 57 seconds left in the first half, the Falcons will probably just fall on the football. Just a couple straight up the middle plays if they don't literally fall on it. BYU has just 1 timeout left in the first half.
So now the question, Berry to Fisher, or Fisher to Berry, I should say, will he go conservative now?
Smartest thing to do.
57 seconds left first half, and of course the Falcons taking advantage of 3 BYU turnovers in the first half and lead 21-7. Bart Weiss, the quarterback. Hands off to his fullback. He is met by a number of blue jerseys. Pat Evans nowhere to run, and the clock continues to tick.
And the Falcons will take a 14-point lead into the locker room at halftime, barring any unforeseen circumstances. 2nd and 8 here on this play. Air Force with 21 points in the first half, 14 of those attributed to the defense, and really 21 because an interception set up the only offensive touchdown, a 21-yard pass on the first series from Bart Weiss to Randy Jones.
Tom Rotello picked off 1 Bosco interception, took it 25 yards for the 14-0 lead, and then Dwan Wilson, the other interception, he returns it, and it's 21-7. Pat Evans gets the call, works his way up close to the first down marker, and the clock has stopped with the chain gang will move its way upfield. So a first down for Air Force with 9 seconds to play with here before we go to halftime.
Falcons 10-0, 13 in a row over 2 years, 6-0 in the Western Athletic Conference. BYU 8-2, and the clock says 1 second, and that's the first half.
We have played 30 minutes of football in Provo, and the 4th-ranked Falcons of Air Force lead BYU 21-7. We'll be back to recap the first half in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. Lead over BYU. Number 4, Mark Ornsby, has the ball on the tee, and we are ready for second half action from Provo. Back to receive, Scott Thomas and Tom Rotello. And Thomas will take it at the 5-yard line, works his way upfield, and is finally hauled down at about the 24-yard line. And that's where Air Force will start the second half.
Thomas gets back
at the 24-yard line.
He's tripped up by
Scott Thomas, one of the leading kick returners in the nation, averaging 35 yards of return coming in, although he didn't have enough to qualify in the NCAA stats. Air Force starting, as you say, at their 24, and they have not had great field position to start their drive since the first quarter when they started 3 of 4 inside the 50-yard line.
Bart Weiss, the quarterback, and of course a very potent wishbone attack for the Air Force Academy. The handoff, fake up the middle, and Weiss keeps the football And BYU's front line was not fooled on that play. And Weiss goes down, might have lost a yard on the play.
He did, and the fake was to Pat Evans, but watch, Sean Knight wasn't fooled. No, sir. Tackle, splish on the helmet, loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 Falcons.
Ken Smith also there to make the tackle, a 6'3", 246-pound senior out of Littleton, Colorado. Bart Weiss, 11 carries, just 12 yards. He needed 46, of course, to break the 1,000-yard barrier. So Weiss has really been kind of held to naught this afternoon. The late pitch goes out to his halfback, Randy Jones, tries to turn the corner, but what a defensive effort there by Rob Ladinko. The strong safety comes up and makes a heck of a play.
He did string that out very nicely. Fake to Evans, pitch to Jones. 2 plays and a total net yardage of 0. Ladinko gets him around the right ankle.
Now, if he would have turned the corner, it would have been trouble.
It would have. Now, remember what we were saying at halftime about momentum? If the Cougar defense could stop him here, the crowd's getting into it.
3rd down and 10. Big play for both sides. BYU shifting their defensive line. Quarterback, swing pass to his halfback. Randy Jones picked up 2 yards, and Air Force will be faced with 4th down.
And Steve Sanders on the hit on that play. Sanders, a sophomore from Orange, California. Weiss passing. Just a little shout out to Jones, who was a good receiver. Very good for a running back. But Sanders decides to line it up this time. And they'll punt from the 27.
Mark Simon in to kick it away. This one a squibber of a kick. Vai-Sikahema picks it up at the 35-yard line. Finds a seam up the middle at the 40. The 30, he has one man to beat. The 10, the 5, touchdown. Vai-Sikahema. As he works his way up the pipe, Vai-Sikahema, number 23, on the punt return.
And you can feel these stadium stands vibrating, Craig Bowlerjack. Sikahema, 65 yards, trying to bring him down from behind Mike Tolliver. He can't do it. Vi's first touchdown this year on a punt return. He had 2 last season.
And before today's ball game, his longest return, 48 yards. 65-yard run by Vai-Sikahema. The extra point to come. Webster kick falls short. It went up over the top of the goalpost. So a big break there for Air Force. The Falcons lead 21-13. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
This buds for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this buds for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This buds for you.
Burger King would like you to take the quarter-pound quiz. Ready? Who has the quarter-pound double burger topped with hot melted Swiss and the tender sliced mushrooms you crave? The quarter-pound double cheeseburger smothered in pizza sauce and the melted mozzarella you long for? And the double cheeseburger with taco sauce and jalapeno cheese, all for a limited time only. Excellent. Aren't you hungry for Burger King now?
Mark Ormsby will kick it off for BYU. Vai-Sikahema putting some fuel back in that BYU attack as he runs it back on the punt return, 65 yards. However, Chris Tunis, a big fact is Gary Webster misses the point after, and that could really be a big factor as we head down the final stretch. Ormsby kick finds its way out of bounds. He will have to do it again.
That's the old cliche, come back to haunt them. Very well could. 12:47 left, 3rd quarter. So the Falcons scored, and it only took them 53 seconds in the first half. And now the Cougars score 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the second half. This game has been explosive at times.
Well, a 5-yard penalty will be marked off against BYU. So Mark Ormsby will have to kick it off again from his own 35-yard line.
I misread my notes. 2.5 minutes. Took Air Force 2.5 minutes to score in the first half. Took BYU 2:13 to score in the second half. Still, that's getting off with a bang.
Scott Thomas and Tom Rotello at their own 5-yard line, back to receive the kick of Ormsby. So on his second try, he gets it high. A nice end-over-end kick. It's taken by Rotello at the 6-yard line. Finds a wedge, finds a hole, and regains his balance. Finally dragged down at the 45-yard line. Let's quickly go down to Charlene Wells.
Yes, during last half, BYU was too emotional, too hyped up. During this halftime, Lavelle told his players to keep the offense loosened up and to keep Air Force offense off the field, correct?
All right, so a little halftime pep talk by Lavelle Edwards. Obviously, it worked. BYU came out, and on the kickoff return, Vaisa Kahema with a big spark, running it in from 65 yards out.
And we were wondering in the first half if BYU came out intimidated. They may have been. Air Force number 4, highest-ranked team ever to come to Provo, team challenging their 9 consecutive WAC championships.
Well, I think Air Force answered back on that particular kickoff return. Rotello down to the 46-yard line, and Air Force in excellent field position. The handoff goes to the fullback, Pat Evans, and he goes nowhere. Getting off the top of the pile there, number 53 for BYU. That's Kerry Whittingham, the senior linebacker out of Provo, Utah.
Backed up by Jason.
Brother Kyle, a linebacker with the Cougars a couple of years back. Dad Fred, an assistant coach with the LA Rams, former pro football player, former assistant here at BYU.
48 yards.
21-13, our score. The Air Force Academy leading BYU. Second down and 8 yards for the first down. Weiss keeps the football, turns the corner, and falls over the 45-yard line. Once again, Kerry Whittingham, the man to make the tackle.
The fullback takes the ball around.
And that's wishbone execution at its best, because he had Randy Jones. Watch, he had Jones in the back ready to pitch to him. But no pitch there, no fake, really. Weiss keeps it. Third down and a full yard to go.
65,000 strong. Trying to put some muscle in that defensive front line of BYU. Third down and a yard. The handoff to the fullback. It's going to be close. Evans got the call, and I believe, Chris, after the umpire, we'll see where the referees will mark it down. This one is very close.
We should mention Air Force was able to convert on its first 3 third-down situations. On its last 5 in the first half, they did not convert. Have they here? Measurement will give us an indication.
And I believe they got it by the nose of the football.
They got it.
And in a case like that, a lot of times it's just the luck of the draw where exactly the referee does spot the football. So it is a big first down for Air Force. 11 minutes and 26 seconds to play, and they are on the move.
Falcons bring in Roger Teague, backup tight end on this play. They have Brennan on the other side, so power offense.
Weiss gives off to his fullback, Evans. He's been the workhorse in that wishbone attack this afternoon. They really haven't pitched the ball all that much, as I might have expected, and that might be the case because they respect BYU's linebacking corps.
That's true. I was expecting more myself. The Falcons on this play, as you see Evans take it up the middle, did not have one wide receiver in there. There was a full power formation on 1st and 10. And in this day of college football, it's almost unheard of.
Second down and 7. The clock continues to tick away. 10:40 and counting, third quarter. Weiss keeps the football. It pops free, but he recovers at about the 41-yard line.
Mark Sherman making the first hit on Weiss and causing him to bobble the ball. The fake in the front of the backfield to Johnny Smith, and then the bobble. There's Sherman with the pressure. Whoops, where is it? There it is.
Well, what concentration by Weiss to find that football and pull it back in.
Falcons had 2 wide receivers on that play. Now they bring Ken Carpenter back into the lineup. Their leading wideout.
And you get the feeling third down just continues to be more important for each side every time.
It is 3rd and 7 here.
Big play for the Air Force Academy and for the BYU defense. And timeout. Air Force. Weiss wants to talk things over. And with that, we will step aside. 9 minutes, 51 seconds to play. We'll be right back.
Here's an offer you can really gobble up. Get a free turkey and ham when you buy any new or used car or truck from Gene Osborne Toyota. It's our pre-holiday sale, and that means new gas engine Tercels or top Toyota pickups, just $59.99, your choice. Plus, a gift certificate for a fresh plump turkey and a big juicy ham, both free from Babe's Meat Market. Just purchase any new or used car or truck. The holidays are just around the corner, and your holiday dinner all starts here at Gene Osborne Toyota.
Does your garbage man stay at home when it rains?
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above.
If your disposal service has gone to the dogs, call CNC Disposal.
For 38 yards and a touchdown through the air this afternoon for the senior quarterback out of Naples, Florida. 3rd down and 7. White wants to throw, feels the pressure, downfield, and nowhere. Nowhere nearby was an Air Force receiver. Back on defense, Rodney Thomas of BYU. So
I'll tell you what happened on that play, Craig. He was looking for Tyrone Jeffcoat, wide receiver, and Thomas was there, and they collided, but it had nothing to do with the pass itself. As you might see the collision here. Jeffcoat slipped. Here comes a punt for the Falcons.
Mark Simon, the man to kick it away, standing at his own 45-yard line. He wants to angle this punt, and that one shot out of there like a rifle, and it finds its way into the back of the end zone. So BYU will take it over at their own 20-yard line on the touchback. Vaisika was back there to return it, and I don't think Air Force wanted anything to do with Vaisika.
No, and what we have now, BYU's offense has to be well rested as they have not seen the football for the first 5.5 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Cougars trailed 21-7 at the half. It is now 21-13. The touchdown on the punt return by Sikahema, 65 yards. The missed extra point by Webster, his 5th miss this year.
Well, the weather conditions have improved since the kickoff. The sun is out. The temperature's warmed up just a little bit here in Provo. Bosco, 170 yards through the air, but the big fact in this game, 3 interceptions. The handoff off the right side, and a big pickup of about 5 yards. Steve Fleming makes the tackle. Tom Tuipulotu, the man getting the football.
So the Cougars do run the football on that play, and it is Tuipulotu who ran for 80 yards on 7 carries last week in the 44-0 victory in the snowstorm at Utah State.
2nd down and 4. The backs are split. The handoff to Tuipulotu. Tries that right side, turns the corner, and is met by a host of Air Force defensive ball players, and he works his way up to the 29-yard line, leading the way Tom Rotello. And we've called that young man's name all day long.
We've just gotten word, Craig, that Trevor Malini has been taken to the medical center. I assume Campus Medical Center. Ankle injury of some type is the word that we've received. So Lance Lindley playing instead of him. Oh, today's fans at halftime. There's a quick note. 350 gallons of hot chocolate, over 14,000 hot dogs consumed. Good day for the concessionaires at Cougar Stadium, and it could be a record crowd. The record was 65,508 last year against Utah State.
You ate at least a half a dozen of those hot dogs and a gallon of hot chocolate. Bosco on the quarterback keeper, 1st down, and as he works his way over the 30-yard line. So Bosco calls his own number and comes up with a big key 1st down.
Cougars now 4 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. Air Force 4 for 10. And BYU, number 7. If you've just joined us, you know Bosco normally is number 6. He's wearing 7 today in honor of the injured Glenn Kozlowski.
And I understand Glenn is making good progress on that knee. Of course, surgery was performed a couple of weeks ago, and a big pro career ahead for Glenn Kozlowski. Kelly Smith gets the handoff. They tried a quick sweep off that right side, but good pursuit by Air Force, and in fact, Smith lost a yard.
BYU ran only 9 of 43 plays in the 1st half. They have run 4 straight plays here.
No gain on the play.
And you made a good point that I think you do need to establish the running game, because Air Force was almost just teeing it up on Bosco.
4 sacks that indicated that, yes. There's Kelly Smith on that last play on the right side.
Good pursuit by John Ziegler, that defensive right tackle. Lone setback. Hey, Mooley. Bosco on 2nd down, wants to throw the football. Finds Bellini. at about the 39-yard line. A good catch by Bellini. Dwan Wilson, the man making the tackle. Now, there is a case in point, Chris, where Bellini was at about the 40, made the catch, but the tackle pushed him back a yard or two.
And they'll spot it at 39.
And that's where they spot it, and the crowd did not particularly care for that call.
Bellini with 7 catches, which is over his average for the year. Dwan Wilson forcing a fumble after the play, and he went after it, which is what a good player will do.
3rd down and a long yard for the first down. 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. David Miles in the ball game. Gets the reception and steps out of bounds at the 48-yard line. David Miles just checked in, and his number was called, and he picks up a first down for BYU on the quick out pass.
Fans wanted a personal foul. Tom Rotello in on a tackle as well as Pat Malakowski. And let's just see. He's inbounds, no problem there. He's out and takes a real shot from Malakowski. Originally, I didn't think I was a personal foul, and it's just good hard play.
On a game like this, you can expect just the energy level kicks up a couple of levels. First down at 10, BYU at their own 48. Bellini goes in motion. Bosco in the pocket, flips it out to Heimuli. Breaks one tackle, sidesteps another, and fights his way down to the 40. Good hard running by Lake Heimuli. Tom Rotello, where's number 45 once again, coming up to make the tackle.
Heimuli, the junior out of Laie of Hawaii. And watch, he breaks the tackle of Mike Chandler. He puts a fake on Pat Malakowski, and then finally the tackle made by Rotello. But it is a gain for the Cougars to the 40-yard line of Air Force, first down and 10.
Delayed draw to Heimuli. He has nowhere to run, and that didn't fool anybody on that front line of Air Force.
Just an excellent defensive play by Ty Hankover for the Falcons, and that was a loss of, well, they'll spot it. They'll give BYU a fortunate spot there. It's a loss of 1 yard.
Tom Tuipulotu runs off the field. Kelly Smith checks back in. It's a little shuttle service between those two backs in the second half. Mark Bellini works his way up to the far side of the field. The backs are split. Kelly Smith now in motion. And offsides, Air Force.
Were they
drawn?
Were they drawn by BYU? Air Force, Dick Clark, the nose guard, is saying they were. Let's see what the officials say.
Bosco obviously was trying to counter his cadence, trying to draw Air Force off as they put some men in motion.
1, 2, 3, 4 officials there with referee Gene Wirtz in the middle.
You talk about the Geneva Conference coming up. What's that?
Bosco's signal is for BYU. Let's see.
And Robbie Bosco called it right. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Kelly Smith in motion, the blitz. The blitz, Mackey and Chandler, and it's Chandler who made the contact.
Well, I saw Lake Heimuli also take a quick step.
Dead ball, encroachment, the defense, second down.
We're going to take a second look. You call it at home.
Watch the motion. Heimuli was moving.
So I think BYU got the break on that particular call because Heimuli was beginning his progress forward. Second down and 6 to go. Bosco wants to throw. Plenty of time. Swings one. The pass is blocked, but there are flags thrown in the backfield.
Bosco's pass is tipped.
Heimuli, the intended receiver on that one. Good pressure by a Falcon who deflected it.
Chad Hennings, the man, that right defensive tackle in there to put a big paw on that football. And again, the conference between the officials and the flag thrown at the 22. Personal foul.
Okay, so.
And I did not see that.
I didn't either.
Thrown back at the 22-yard line. And so big yardage.
Wasn't it? There's a yellow flag right down there at the 22.
Big yardage marked off against the Falcons, and 15. That brings the crowd alive.
First and 10 for Brigham Young at the 21-yard line, a drive that started at the Cougar 20.
We have a personal foul against the defense. First down.
Penalties, the Falcons penalized more than the Cougars today. 5 for 34, BYU just 2 for 25, and they have a first down at the 21. And the crowd, unbelievable. In fact, they have to quiet them.
Hey, Mooley and Smith in the backfield. Robbie Bosco wanting to throw the football. Feels pressure now, and he runs it. And he is tackled down to the 25-yard line. He will lose 4 yards on that play.
Ty Hankemer was in there again. Well, he's having a good game. And Bosco did not decide to throw it when he was going down this time. That's the smartest thing he could have done. Loss of 4 on the play. It's the 5th sack for Air Force this afternoon. Air Force 4th in the nation. 13 in a row. Leading the WAC at 6-0.
Second down and 14. Just under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Bosco again with a deep drop back. Looking downfield and almost intercepted. Then Bellini had a chance to make the grab. DeJuan Wilson back on the defense, and Bellini in disgust. You see him there shake his head. You could see 6, but a great defensive effort by DeJuan Wilson. Take a look.
Bellini was open for a couple seconds, and let us see if Mark stopped or if the ball was behind him or what. Well, just a great play by DeJuan Wilson. You hear the cheer for Bellini as he returns to the huddle.
Third down and 14. The clock stopping on that incomplete pass. There's a shot at number 24, DeJuan Wilson, having a good day back there. Now, referee steps in. Timeout, BYU. And Lavelle Edwards wants to talk things over. With that, we'll step aside. We'll have more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
You know, I've been a beer drinker for a bunch of years. Like you, I've seen a lot of beer commercials. There's one beer that people loved before it was even advertised. You see, Coors was kind of the beer at my folks' place. People thought it was different, special. That was true long before there were any jingles or promotions. It's the product people love, not the hoopla. You think about that. How many products can you say that about? Coors is the one.
I don't mind working hard, but I'll tell you how I feel. I worked an honest day, and I want an honest deal.
Nobody wants high food prices. So when more people come to Safeway than any other food store in America, you know we got to be giving them a good deal.
I worked an honest day, and I want an honest deal.
Safeway, America's favorite food store.
And welcome back to Provo, Utah. Craig Bowler-Jack along with Chris Tunis. For BYU fans, we do have some good news. Tight end Trevor Molini is back in uniform. In fact, if you can see him about the 30-yard line, he is back.
There he is, coming in.
The ankle, okay.
And this will be the 14th play of the drive for BYU. 3rd and 14. They're 5 for 13 in third down conversions today.
Just under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. And Robbie Bosco at the helm. Sends Bellini in motion. He drops back 7 steps. Looking for 6. Bellini's wide open. Touchdown. Mark Bellini beat Steve Sigler. And Chris, give credit to Robbie Bosco. He dropped back. Bellini went in motion, and what a combination that was. Bosco threw a nice floater, and Bellini there to make the grab.
Found an opening in the seam in that zone defense. I think the Cougars are going to go for 2 as you see the touchdown pass once more to Bellini over Sigler. 6 points, 21-19, 4:42 left in the third quarter. Cougars are going to try to tie it, apparently.
And Chris, I also have to mention here, I don't think, and again, it has not been a great season for Webster on the kicking end of things, and I believe that Lavelle would rather see it go for 2 and tie it, of course. Now there's a flag. Webster, of course, missed the extra point on the last touchdown, which is forcing, of course, Lavelle Edwards to make this decision to go for 2.
Now, what do you do now? It's at the 7-yard line, 8-yard line, rather.
Delay of game against BYU.
It's a possibility that they might be doing that, as you hear Gene Wirtz.
Dead ball, delay, the offense.
They might be doing that intentionally, taking the 5 yards to get some extra room to utilize their passing game.
Good point. Very good point. We'll see what happens. Bosco brings his troop back to the line. They trail by 2. Looking for the 2-point conversion. Kelly Smith works his way up towards the far sideline. Bosco throws against the grain. Lance Lindley makes the reception. Works his way to the end zone. He gets the 2 points. And we've got a tied ball game. Lance Lindley gets the 2-point conversion, and we are tied in Provo. The score 21-all, 4:42 to play. We'll be right back.
Prices at Pay and Pack's November month-long sale mean you can afford a new kitchen for the holidays. Come see our complete kitchen cabinet displays and compare our prices with anyone in town. Bring in your kitchen dimensions, and the experts at the Pack will help you draw up plans, give you an estimate, and show you how easy installing them can be. Wall units, base units, corner units, and sink units. The Pack has them all at 20% off. Price, selection, and real do-it-yourself help. That's what's cooking at the Pack.
An important message from Pizza Hut.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, for a very short time, Pizza Hut is offering a large pizza for a medium charge, just for writing, make it a large, medium charge on a piece of paper and bringing it into Pizza Hut. It is that easy. Make it a large, medium charge on any piece of paper. Any questions?
Now at Pizza Hut, a large pizza or Priazzo Italian pie for a medium charge when we get it in writing from you.
What's that old saying? How quickly things can change. BYU with 2 second-half touchdowns has tied this ball game. A squib kick by Ormsby will bounce at about the 5-yard line and will roll into the end zone. Air Force did not touch it, so it will be their football at the 20-yard line.
One of the happiest people in the stadium right now has to be WAC Commissioner Joe Kearney as you hear the cheer for the Cougar defense. Offensively, a lot of cheers, 14 plays, 80 yards, 5 minutes. Mark Bellini catching that 22-yard pass from Bosco and then coming across the grain, Bosco to Lance Lindley, 8 yards for the 2-point conversion. But I say Joe Kearney is happy because now this is what he wanted. 2 teams playing tight games and that both could now maybe even get New Year's Day ball games.
Bart Weiss, the quarterback. A new flavor has taken on here. He gives the handoff to his fullback, Pat Evans, and an inspired BYU defense comes up and throws Evans for a 2-yard loss. Mark Sherman, the first man through, along with Sprouse.
Along with Steve Sanders as well. No room for Evans there. And the first hit was made by Gouveia, but he bounced off the Hawaiian. Finally, 3 men wrapped him up for a loss of a yard. First down, that's a key. Air Force has not gained much on first down since the first quarter.
That ball marked down on about the 19-yard line, so it will be 2nd down and 11. The clock ticking with just 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Weiss fakes the handoff to his fullback, looking for the pitch man. Flips it out to Greg Pushishnak. And he works his way upfield, Chris, to the 25-yard line.
Sprouse on the hit. And what we have not mentioned, maybe one reason why the Falcons' offense is struggling, as you see Weiss with the pitch here to Greg Pushishnak, is that Pushishnak is starting instead of Kelly Pittman. Kelly Pittman has gained almost 500 yards for him this year, and he's had the flu the last couple of weeks, and he's back in Colorado Springs.
Pushishnak, 21 carries, just 60 yards coming into this ball game. Timeout has been called, so Weiss will walk over and talk with head coach Fisher DeBerry. Now, Chris, I think right now the crowd becomes a very important factor in this ball game.
Yes, indeed, Craig. You're right. And this crowd is 65,000 plus, and they've been on their feet since the early portion of this game when the Falcons scored 2 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes. But you see the Cougars, Steve Sanders over there, Kurt Gouveia with the headset on. Is that Tom Ramage? Brigham Young University. You see the campus, that's the Marriott Center, that building right in front. And the basketball team will be playing there and already been practicing. They have their varsity preview on campus this evening. The lights have been on here all afternoon. It was a gray day earlier, but now the sun has come out, partly cloudy. Our temperatures in the high 30s. Bart Weiss back to the huddle. What a player he is. We were talking with Sports Information Director for Air Force, Dave Kellogg, earlier in the week. Here the Cougar fans cheering BYU. Dave Kellogg was saying, if Weiss had the preseason build-up that a Robbie Bosco or a Chuck Long of Iowa would have, he might be in the running for the Heisman right now. And the second half, all BYU yardage-wise.
80 yards, 13 for Air Force. And the Academy, after talking things over with head coach Fisher DeBerry, faced with 3rd down and 3 and under 4 minutes to play now.
13 straight. Their last loss was to Army last year. The week before that, BYU beat them 30-25 in Colorado Springs.
On 3rd down, Weiss turns the corner. Gets the ball just over the 30-yard line, and if he did, it will be a 1st down. Weiss on the quarterback keeper, turns upfield, and gets close to that 1st down marker.
Today's attendance here at Cougar Stadium, 65,393. That's the 5th largest in stadium history, and only 105 shy of a stadium record. Here's Bart Weiss, decides to bring it up. Jason Buck wraps himself around him, gets some help from friends. It's 1st and 10 Falcons at the 30.
Weiss, the senior quarterback, gives off to the fullback, Pat Evans, and he tumbles his way for 2 yards.
Goes to the outside.
Evans tips the scales at 5'11", 190. He's not what you call your big fullback by any means.
No, And Pat Evans, you have to wonder, what if he didn't have the knee injury earlier in the season, if he'd have started with a full head of steam. His injury, though, was a blessing in disguise for the Falcons because it gave Johnny Smith the chance to develop.
And he quickly became the 2nd leading ground gainer on this ball club. In fact, 670 yards on 95 carries, 7.1 yard average every time he put his hands on the football. He wants to throw it, going up top, and just overthrows his wide receiver. Back on defense, the strong safety, Rob Ladinko. And Ladinko, Chris, very close to picking that pass off.
Yeah, Ladinko was closer to catching that ball than Randy Jones was. Rob Ladinko, a senior, 6'2", 198 out of Washington, the state of Washington. So Air Force faces a 3rd and 7, and they're 5 for 13 in 3rd down conversions, but only 2 for their last 11.
Tyrone Jeffcoat checks into the lineup. So this could be the point, Chris, where the speedster gets a test. 3rd down and 7. 2:55 and counting, 3rd quarter, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game, 21-all in Provo. Weiss pitches it, and BYU did not fall for it. Greg Pushishniak took the shovel pass, picked up about 3 yards, and it will be 4th down. And there is an injured player for for Air Force. That's Greg Pushishniak, and he's got a bad ankle. Talking of injuries, let's check in with Charlene Wells. Charlene.
Yes, Trevor Malini, they just found out the x-ray showed no broken bones, but there was a bad sprain in the central part of his foot. They taped it up, saw it with a little Novocaine, and he was back in the last series. Craig?
Tough young man indeed, Trevor Malini. Mark Simon kicks it away. Sekihema putting the tracks on it. Takes it at the 12, makes a couple of moves, and finally pulled down at the 15. So BYU will start their next drive. 1st down at 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Well, the Cougars now 2nd drive in the 2nd half. Their 1st drive started at the 20, 80 yards and a touchdown. Some scores from around the country. The Iowa Hawkeyes, a halftime leader over Purdue, 21-7. And we'll have more scores later in the broadcast.
BYU back on offense at their own 15. Robbie Bosco remains the quarterback. Tom Tuipulotu. And Sekihema in the backfield. A quick pass to Bellini. Makes the grab and slides out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
That was not an easy catch to make because he had to extend those arms out.
I think he cut it on his hip. And Bellini, underrated, I think, in that fashion. He's got a tremendous pair of hands. Makes some outstanding catches.
Only a junior from San Leandro, California. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 at the 23-yard line.
Sekihema checks in along with David Miles. So really the shuttle service. BYU sending in a lot of fresh players. Bosco, 23 of 43, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, both coming here in the 2nd half, and the 3 interceptions. Heimuli gets the call. Sweeps off the left side and pulls his way down to the 29-yard line, and in the process picks up a 1st down. Now there is a flag away from the football.
Yeah, that's interesting.
a little pushing and shoving going on after that particular play.
Somebody laid a block on Air Force inside linebacker and second leading tackler Mike Chandler. I don't know who that was, but he broke the play for Himuli. First down Cougars on the run. Now watch the penalty.
What are you going to do at the end of the game?
Unsportsmanlike conduct, BYU.
Charlene Wells has an update on an Air Force defensive back, DeJuan Wilson.
Yes, DeJuan Wilson, the career reception leader for Air Force, sometimes does not stand in the huddle. He says it expends too much energy to walk back and forth to the huddle, and so receives his signals usually from Thomas, the safety. He might be doing something right there, Craig.
DeJuan Wilson, there he is, number 24.
He's 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Now he's walking up.
So he wants to conserve energy, huh?
Okay. You like Ken Carpenter's dad, the lonesome man with Army? He's the lonesome DB.
I believe the call, Chris, was against Dave Wright. He was the player I saw away from the football. I think he might have grabbed a face mask and in a fit of anger. This game, of course, very emotional. We're tied at 21 with just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Bowl bids on the line. The WAC championship on the line.
Well, not necessarily. It is, yes. It'll play a major role because you have to remember, Utah and Hawaii only have one loss, as does BYU.
And, of course, if Air Force would go on to win maybe this ball game, Chris, there is a very strong possibility that Air Force, if they continue to go undefeated, would become the second WAC team to win the national championship in a row.
It seems incredible, but that's a possibility.
First down at 24. Bosco seems a bit confused, and he has to call timeout. So Robbie will make a slow trot over to the sideline to talk things over with his head coach. You look at the timeout situation, Chris.
State this afternoon in a very vital game for them. They have a chance at a bowl bid. Lavelle Edwards, hands on knees. What's he looking at?
I think he's counting the number of blades of grass down on the field. Lavelle Edwards is not the man that shows much emotion. I saw him very emotional after the UTEP loss. I will guarantee you that.
Yes.
First down and a long ways to go. 24 yards, in fact. Bosco on the rollout, looking downfield. Tries the sideline, threads the needle, and Bellini did not make the catch. Bellini went high up into the air and was hit hard.
And you see Fisher DeBerry there on the other sidelines. What a nice gentleman he is. Out of Cheraw, South Carolina. That's where he's from. Second year player down, isn't there? Is that Kelly Smith who's down? At the 15-yard line.
And I believe it is Kelly Smith. And, of course, Kelly, if you follow BYU football, injured a knee very early in the season. And it was almost like a Cinderella story.
Game thinking his season was over.
The backs are split on second down. Bosco wants to throw it. Flips one out to Visa Kahema, and right there to make the tackle, Mike Chandler. And it will be third down and a long 23 yards for the first down for BYU.
Mike Chandler and Terry Mackey, they've been a twosome at inside linebacker this year. Top two tacklers on the Air Force team. 1 minute coming up on the final minute of the third period. BYU 21, Air Force 21. It was 21-7 Air Force at halftime.
Offensive line weighs in at 267. That's the average weight for the BYU offensive line. On the other side, Air Force 241, the front three on defense. So obviously BYU has the weight advantage, but I don't think that's really been a big factor in this ball game. Bosco wants to throw it, pressured, and he will be taken down at the 10-yard line, and boy, BYU will have to punt it out of their own end zone.
Sack number 6 for Air Force. John Ziegler in. You see a celebrating Steve Spiewak, the nose guard. And it is fourth in eternity for BYU.
Kevin Tao will have a chore to knock this one.
Kevin Tao back to punt for the Cougars.
And he is about 5 yards deep in his own end zone. 9 seconds and counting. The ball is snapped. The kick is away. A heavy rush by Air Force. What a kick by Tao. pushes Thomas's back to the 35-yard line, still on his feet, and finally knocked to the ground at the 42-yard line, and that's where Air Force will take over.
You're talking a 54-yard punt unofficially.
And the third quarter has come to an end. We have 15 minutes of football to be played. The Falcons of Air Force and the Cougars of BYU tied at 21. We'll be back with more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
The problem.
This year.
And the handoff goes up the middle to Randy Jones. He picks up 2 yards on the play. He'll be second down at the 45-yard line.
So Michigan, the only team in the country now to have given up 20 or less against every opponent. Cougar defense so tough since early in that first quarter. And in the second half, our fine statisticians tell us the Falcons have only obtained 2 first downs and have 22 yards total offense.
Bart Weiss, the quarterback. Second down and 7. 14 minutes, 30 seconds to play in this ball game. The handoff to Johnny Smith, and he goes nowhere. Jason Buck and company there to make the stop.
Leon White's another one in on that play. And let's check it on the replay. The Falcon lineman trying to lead out for Johnny Smith. He had Randy Jones in front of him. That's White with the primary tackle.
Sanders also there, along with Sproul. So the whole BYU defensive unit bearing down here in the final quarter. Third down and 7, Air Force. Every play down the stretch, so important. White pulls and pitches the football to Randy Jones. Tries the side, fumble, picked up and still loose. I believe Air Force got it.
I think the Falcons do have it, Craig. Govea was one of the guys in on that hit for Jones that forced the fumble. Chris Vallanti recovered it, I think.
Rodney Thomas had a clear shot at that loose football, and you'll be able to see it here. Wise pulls out, flips the ball out to his halfback, and the ball pops free. Now, Thomas, I thought, had it. I guess we won't be able to see it. Here's the kick on fourth down. A nice driving spiral, angling towards the sideline, and it will be placed out of bounds at the 19-yard line. A nice kick by Mark Simon, the #1 ranked punter in the country. We will step aside. The Falcons and Cougars tied at 21. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network.
See you later, Marty.
Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight? I know exactly how it happens. A guy will walk in, handsome, mysterious. He orders a beer. A lady brings it over. They fall madly in love. He sweeps her away, shows her the world, and totally changes her life forever. It happens to people all the time.
Coors Light, please.
There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Coors Light beer. Skippers introduces the new chicken nugget and fish all-you-can-eat special, featuring all the mouth-watering white meat chicken nuggets and all the tender fish fillets you can eat, plus fries, chowder, and more for one low price. Skippers chicken nugget and fish all-you-can-eat special, only at Skippers.
Come on down to Skippers for some seafood.
And welcome back to Provo. The people up in that balloon have probably the best view of the day, Chris.
There's one way to avoid paying to get inside Cougar Stadium.
13 minutes and 6 seconds to play in this ball game. We are tied at 21. Hey, Mooley gets the handoff and loses about 5 yards on the play, so BYU will be faced with second down and 15. Chad Hennings there to make the tackle. Kelly Smith, of course, went out with an injury just the last series, and Charlene Wells has been following Kelly. How bad is it, Charlene?
We don't know as of yet. If it is similar to the injury he sustained earlier in the season, they will be able to slip the cartilage possibly back in, and he will be out to play again. But as of right now, we don't know.
All right. Second down and 13 for BYU. Bosco wants to throw the football. Plenty of time. Looking towards the sideline. The catch is made and a hard hit along the far sideline. Vaisa Kahima making the reception. Pat Malakowski, the man, to put the helmet in the numbers.
Malakowski makes some vicious tackles, doesn't he? Gain on the play of about 8 yards for the Cougars. 3rd down and 5, 24-yard line. The Utes have gone ahead of Colorado State now, 4th quarter. 16-14 Utah. A Utah win, they would be 9-2, and that would set up a great showdown next week here against BYU, which you will see on the Cougar Sports Network.
Robbie Bosco brings the troops to the line. 3rd down and 5. The clock ticking away. Under 12 minutes to play. Air Force showing blitz. Now Bosco with an audible at the line. He will drop back to pass the football. Across the middle, 1-on-1. Bellini makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Bosco saw something, Chris. Air Force showed blitz, and he called a play, and Bellini made the catch.
There you see Kelly Smith on the sidelines. He may be able to play if, as Charlene reported, that cartilage is able to be slipped back in. Watch the replay. Terry Mackey was stunting. The linebacker for Air Force coming in from the outside, A.J. Scott. I think Keith McCullough, the center, picked up Mackey, and Bellini was open, and it is a gain of 32 yards to the Air Force 45.
And, of course, that put Bellini and Tom Rotello one-on-one, and Bellini got the best of him on that particular play. Bosco on 1st down. Looking to throw the football. Swings it out to Sikahema on the left side. Slips and falls. The ball marked down at the 40, so gives Sikahema 5 yards. DeJuan Wilson, the man to make the tackle.
It was, you're correct. Craig Wilson coming up to force the play. Watch the block by 78, Dave Wright here. Okay, he sheds off the one gentleman for Air Force, that being Roger. Let's check that in a moment. Well, here comes Sikahema. The player who was coming in for Air Force was Ty Hankemer. And Cougar fans wondering, looking at the clock, 10:55 to go. We're tied at 21 on this cool afternoon.
2nd down and 6. Bosco hands off. Tom Tuipulotu turns the corner, bounces off one tackler and falls over the 35-yard line. Close to 1st down territory. DeJuan Wilson, again, the man to come up to make the tackle.
Just a straight sweep for Tuipulotu. And a block there by Borgia. The Cougar offensive lineman now bringing up some big holes. And listen to this crowd. They are waving white hankies, a lot of them here.
Tom Tuipulotu, 5'11", 196, out of San Mateo, California. And he's just a sophomore. 2 more years. 10:25 and counting. BYU marching downfield, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of Air Force. Bosco sends his backs out. The pass intercepted. A.J. Scott steps in front of Trevor Molini, and Robbie Bosco throws his 4th interception of the afternoon, and what a turnover of momentum that one is.
That was because the Cougars were starting to gain that momentum. Here's Bosco. He has time to throw, and he shoots it outright. And stepping in front of Trevor Molini was A.J. Scott. So now Pat Malachowski has picked off a pass. Tom Rotello picked off a pass for a touchdown. DeJuan Wilson for a touchdown. And now A.J. Scott. 1st down Falcons at their own 26 with 10:13 left.
Bart Weiss, the quarterback, hands off to the first man through, the fullback, Pat Evans. And he gained virtually nothing as BYU's front line stiffened up. Buck and Sean Knight there to make the tackle.
There's Weiss. Fake inside Evans. Well, no, that is Evans.
1 yard.
They tried to carry out the fake. And Air Force, I'd like to know what's their longest play from scrimmage in this half, because it is not very long.
2nd down and 9. They gave Evans a yard on that carry. And the crowd continues to be heard. Weiss calls his own number, falls across the 30-yard line, and they will mark it down at the 31. So Weiss picks up 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
31.
And as you see on the play, there is Weiss stumbling, and then Kerry Whittingham and Mark Sherman in on the tackle. Another 3rd down situation. 3rd and 5, 31-yard line. There's Weiss once more time.
Well, we mentioned it. You hate to beat a dead horse, but 3rd down, especially in a ball game such as this, becoming so important. The handoff. Fake into the line. Weiss keeps it. And right there to meet him, Steve Sanders, short of the 1st down marker. And look at the emotion on number 59.
Steve Sanders stepping in because Lad Akeo was injured. Falcons forced to punt. 4th and 2 at the 34.
Mark Simon once again called upon to boot this football away. He's done a superb job this afternoon, and reason for his #1 ranking in the country, 47.8 yards his average. The left-footed kicker sends a low line driver by Sikahema. Makes the reception at the 20-yard line. Can't go anywhere, and finally hauled down at the 23. So that's where BYU will take over on their next possession. We are tied in Provo, 21 all, 8:16 to play. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network.
You are traveling between time and space, somewhere beyond your dreams and at the summit of your expectations. It is a place we choose to call the Discount Zone. Item, Daniel's Discount Zone offers you the best deal and the best financing you can get on all the beautiful new Chevrolet cars and trucks every day. And for your consideration, leasing deals that are out of this world. We're the only discount dealer in town, and we can help you travel between space and time in style when you enter the Daniel's Discount Zone.
If you're in the military or civil service and haven't been to Devon lately, you don't know what you're missing. Devon's got the biggest selection of name-brand electronics, furniture, and jewelry anywhere. Best of all, you get instant credit, no down payment, and a free finance plan. And check these knockouts. This Panasonic wireless remote VCR, save $250. Kenwood stereo rack, save $689. Sharp 19-inch color TV, save $150. Don't run all over shopping. Get to Devon, the champion of value.
Feel the spirit come alive on TV 13.
Play in this ball game, 21 all.
And CSU has gone back in front of Utah, 21-16.
Sikahema gets the call. Tries that left side, stacked up by Air Force. He might have gained a yard as they will place it over the 25-yard line. John Ziegler leading the way, big number 74. And his number has been called a few times today.
And now you have to wonder, with 8 minutes left, and now inside of 8 minutes, how a tie would affect things. How a tie would affect the national rankings. How a tie would affect the WAC standings. Half win, half loss. Air Force would still be leading the conference.
The clock continues to tick. The lone setback. Heimuli, the slot back. By Sikahema. Bosco drops back quickly. Tries that sideline pass. Bellini makes the grab at the 37-yard line, and he picks up a big first down. Tom Rotello, the man to make the tackle. And Chris, the pressure here. A quick drop back by Bosco this time, and a quick pass to Bellini.
And Rotello, short tackler, and he does make the tackle on that play. It is a first down for the Cougars at the 37. The Cougars gaining 140 yards in the third quarter. The Falcons just 59. You see total yards, BYU with 229 to 175.
On first down, Robbie Bosco feels the pressure. Almost threw that football away, and at the last second decided to hold on to it. Chad Henning broke through to make the tackle, and I believe that's his second quarterback sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 7th sack now for the Falcons today. They've gotten good pressure on Bosco. And you see Hennings there with the stop. Loss of 13, back to the 24-yard line.
Second down at 23. The clock continues to run. Under 7 minutes to play in this ball game, and we are tied at 21. This is what bowl officials wanted. This is what most of the nation expected between these two ball clubs. A quick swing pass to Heimuli, finds him open field, spins, and finds his way down to the 31-yard line. So he picks up about 6 yards, and it will be third down and 16 for BYU. Terry Mackey, the inside linebacker, making the tackle on Heimuli.
Mackey is just a junior, fine player that he is. His parents own a Christmas tree farm in Libby, Montana. There you see Heimuli just over the middle. And Chandler, the first man, Heimuli dances by him, but Mackey is waiting for him.
A Christmas tree farm.
Yes.
They should be busy, I would say, this time of year.
This time of year, indeed.
Third down at 16. The lone back, Heimuli. Bosco, a deep drop, looking downfield. Sikahema's open. He's caught it through 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown. The crowd shaking the stands in Provo. Take a look at this. Vi Sikahema breaks out of the backfield. Robbie Bosco with time to throw the football, and he's right on the money.
69 yards, Bosco's third touchdown pass of the day. And Sikahema, I don't know if you noticed, Craig, but he gave a mini bow to the fans on the west side of Cougar Stadium as he was coming off the field.
Well, Sikahema has been a very big factor in this ball game. Of course, he returned a punt 65 yards to make it 21-13 in favor of Air Force. And with the extra point to come, BYU takes a 7-point lead. 28-21 our score with 5 minutes and 41 seconds to play. We'll be back with more action on the Cougar Sports Network.
All that you do. Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this buzz for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This buzz for you.
To get your company's long-distance business, most companies promise you the moon. And that's what they give you. Low rates at night. What about the only person working is me, the moon? But not Mountain Bell. Mountain Bell gives you low competitive rates during the day. So it's up to you. You can get low, long-distance rates when you're working or when I'm working.
Well, I think that face might tell the story. BYU has answered back, Chris, with 3 second-half touchdowns, and they lead it now 28-21. The scoring drive, 78 yards, 7 plays, just over 2.5 minutes, and the big bomb to Sikahema set that thing up. 69-yard pass from Bosco, his third touchdown pass of the afternoon.
21 unanswered points for the Cougars in the second half as we get ready for Ormsby's kickoff.
Ormsby kicks it to Scott Thomas along the far sideline, and he is met head-on at the 17. So an inspired special team of BYU makes a big play.
And Thomas took a hit right in the gut. He might have hurt his right elbow. He's holding it as he comes off the field. Well, that would be a crucial loss for Air Force. Let's see who made the hit. Troy Long. Troy Long, freshman out of Salt Lake City. Great tackle. First down at the 17 for the Falcons. This is an Air Force team, though, that will not fold. They have a lot of character, and they're at the test now with 5:29 to go.
And the crowd here in Provo roaring their approval. 65,000 strong. A quick pass to the sideline. Leon White there to make the tackle. That was number 89. Hugh Brennan, the tight end. 6'4", 231-pound senior making the catch. So now Air Force, Chris, might be forced to throw the football more than maybe they want to.
And that's a 7-yard gain on a first down, the quick out to Brennan, and they have not been gaining those yards on first down. So there's the key. Air Force with only 2 first downs in the entire second half. The Falcon mascot.
Second down and 3 yards to play. 4:54 and counting to be played in this ball game. The handoff up the middle to the big fullback, Pat Evans, and he pulls about 3 blue jerseys down with him to the 33-yard line. And that's a first down for Air Force.
You see the reaction you saw a moment ago as Evans gains there up the middle on the first down of Mark Minafo, the halfback, touching his hands and saying, all right, we've got a first down, only our third, in the shadow of the Falcon there. And, boy, this is going to be a great finish.
28-21, BYU. 15th ranked in the country, leading unbeaten Air Force. White throws it up. The catch is made just over the 40-yard line, close to that first down marker. And the tight end, once again, Hugh Brennan, the man to make the grab.
Brennan, the number 3 receiver for the Falcons. Sorry on that, Craig. And White and Sprouse were on the tackle for the Cougars. You can see the short pass. What happens now if Air Force drives for a touchdown? Do they go for 2 in the win? Do they go for 1 in the tie and very possibly a WAC championship?
I think they'll go for 2 if the situation calls for it. 8 of 15 for Bart Weiss this afternoon. The handoff, the first man through, the fullback, Pat Evans. And they are close to the midfield line at the 50-yard line.
And what a factor the clock is now. 3:54 stopped on the first down. BYU 28, Air Force 21. 7-point lead Cougars. The clock starts. The Falcons start first down at their own 49.
And both teams with one timeout remaining. Weiss fakes the handoff to his fullback, decides to keep it, and falls over the 50-yard line down to the 48. So Weiss, the quarterback, will pick up 2 yards on the play.
Play there made by the nose guard, Ken Smith, senior out of Littleton, Colorado. The Denver area. There's Smith coming in from behind on the play. It is a gain of 3. Bart Weiss now 4th all-time rusher for the Air Force Academy. This is their 30th year of football.
And he's only 11 yards away from breaking the 1,000-yard barrier for a season. He would become only the 3rd NCAA player to ever accomplish that feat on the ground and through the air. The handoff goes to Evans, and BYU would not buy it. Sean Knight there to make the tackle.
And the fans are standing. You see them standing in Provo with 3:04 to go and the clock running. 28-21 Cougars. Falcons inside Cougar territory at the 47. 3rd and 6.
Boy, Sean Knight a specimen. 6'6", 279, and he'll be back next year.
5 for 16 on the 3rd down conversion. Air Force Academy.
2:48 and counting.
The roar is deafening.
28-21, BYU with a touchdown lead over Air Force. White drops back, swings it out to his halfback. That's Mark Mufano. And he makes the reception, Chris, down to the 38-yard line, and that brings a roar of approval from the cadets here watching this ball game this afternoon.
Munafo is a junior out of Huron, Ohio, and that's the first catch he's made all season. But he was wide open on that one. That might be one reason why it was wide open. The Cougars didn't expect him to catch that ball. 1st and 10, Falcons inside the Cougar 38 with 2:35 to go.
Of course, the clock stopped with that first down. Weiss back at the helm. This particular drive using the pass. Leon White tackles, fumbles. And the referee there made no decision on indicating anything.
No call at all. I thought he was down before the fumble.
As far as we're sitting up in the stands, we couldn't hear the whistle, but you call it at home. Weiss fakes into his fullback. Now he turns the corner.
Okay.
And a good play by White. He strips the football.
Well, whatever. Ball's going to be at the 41-yard line. Here you see Weiss running left again. And they're going to give Air Force the ball after the fumble on the 41. It's 2nd and 13.
1:54 and counting. Weiss, deep drop back. Looking towards the sidelines, and Sproul was there to break up that pass. I believe Hugh Brennan, the tight end. Well, that was Ken Carpenter, the wide receiver there, the intended receiver. But Jeff Sproul, the 6', 192-pound senior, with a good defensive effort.
Went to their main man Carpenter, Jason Buck, applying the pressure on the play. And a leap gets his right hand on it, but Sproul is able to bat him away out of bounds, incomplete. 3rd and 13 with 1:47 left. Falcons, 13 in a row. Their undefeated season, their number 4 ranking in jeopardy. They're at the 41, 3rd and 13.
And Chris again, 3rd down, staring Air Force in the face. They break out of the wishbone. They go to the lone setback. Weiss drops back, throws one downfield, picked off. Rodney Thomas still on his feet. Cuts back upfield at the 40. And finally, hauled down at the 41-yard line, but hold everything. Flags are down.
There are definitely flags down. I don't know about this play. Ken Carpenter was open around the 15-yard line, but Thomas stepped in for the interception. Now hold everything with the flags. Referee Gene Bart's the man with the white cap.
Chris, I know the second flag was thrown after the play. I don't know if it was a late hit or a spearing call, but there is a flag down at the 48-yard line.
Silent, waiting for Gene Wirtz to hear what he has to say. Personal foul, Air Force, penalty against BYU. I'm not sure what that call was on the Cougars. So So it is a dead ball foul of some sort. There's Weiss again. He had Carpenter open, but he underthrew him. Sherman and Thomas in the neighborhood. It was Thomas who was there for the interception.
My question, maybe a late hit on Weiss. Buck with heavy pressure now. He went ahead.
That wasn't a late hit. I don't think.
Well, that's where the flag was thrown in that vicinity. Here is number 3.
A lot of confusion.
Rodney Thomas on the reception. And that's going to push the ball back down to the 26-yard line.
And the Falcons have it. A golden opportunity, 1st and 10. Here's the ref.
We have roughing the passer against the defense. That's a 1st down.
Roughing the passer on the defense. I guess on Jason Buck.
That's a close
Here we
call.
go again.
That is a close call.
This will be the call that we'll be talking about for many, many seasons. No way. I'm sorry. I mean, people might think we're biased, but no way is that roughing the passer.
Buck's momentum carried him through, but Chris, maybe he drove the face mask or the helmet.
Maybe there's something we didn't see, but off the tackle, that was not roughing the passer.
Now they bring the football back.
And they walk it back on the personal foul for Air Force. Gene Wirtz, the referee. He'll explain.
I have a dead ball, personal foul against the offense. We've got a 1st down.
So there must have been a late hit on that interception return by Rodney Thomas. And so we march it back to the 42-yard line.
94 seconds. 94 seconds to go. And the BYU cheerleaders are trying to lead the crowd into just a deafening sound of noise. Falcons 1st down, 25. That's what the scoreboard says. I think that 1st and 20 now. They've just changed it. The ball on the Brigham Young 41-yard line.
Johnny Smith checks into the lineup. He replaces Pat Evans, the fullback, so I'm sure Fisher DeBerry has sent in a special play here. 1:34 to play, and the Cougars leading by a score of 28-21, and Utah, Chris, trailing CSU by 2 in the 4th quarter.
Apparently another Andre Gordy field goal. Here we go.
One back. They have broken out of their wishbone formation now. Weiss wants to throw the football. Sends one downfield, and the ball is caught at the 18 by Tyrone Jeffcoat, a young man we have not heard from all day.
Great catch. Great catch by Jeffcoat. Only his 2nd catch of the season. And it'll be 2nd down and 2 for Air Force at the 18-yard line. Jeffcoat leaving the lineup now for Air Force.
And the important fact is this clock continues to run. 1:08 to play and counting. 2nd down and 2. Air Force back to their wishbone. The handoff. There's a fumble.
I think Weiss pounced on it.
Boy, Weiss, the quick person he is, saw the loose football, and he pounced on it like a cat. Jason Buck and Gouveia for BYU there, trying to steal the ball away.
Clock still running, 38 seconds. Falcons 3rd down, 2. BYU 18, they trail by 7.
And both teams with one timeout. 3rd and 2. Weiss rolling to his right, looking for the end zone. And the catch is made. No, they call it out of bounds. That was Tyrone Jeffcoat. He had to come back for the football, and I believe he landed out of bounds after making the diving grab.
Cougar fans, it's a nail biter. He was not out of bounds. I think it was a trap was what it was ruled, and there was no protest by the Air Force bench, so it must have been. 24 seconds left. Like the NBA, get down to the last 2 minutes. BYU 28, Air Force 21.
And it is 4th down and 3. Right now, you got to be concerned about getting the 1st down. They do have a timeout remaining. So if you use the clock in this situation, you could possibly have 4, maybe 5 plays.
Back in the bone.
A little mix-up. Weiss has to carry the football, pitches it out to his halfback. He turns the corner, and he will be knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. 1st down, Air Force with 16 seconds to play.
Can't ask for a better finish, can you? The Falcons moving the football. They come up on the 4th down play on what was a broken play, as you called it so well, Craig Bolerjack. A little bit of a busted play. I think it was Johnny Smith, the fullback, who ran into Bart Weiss. Here we can see it. There it is. Smith runs into Weiss, but the presence of mind that this great quarterback has, and he pitches out to his running back there. That is for the Falcons, and he takes Malcolm takes it down to the 10-yard line.
1st down at 10, at the 10. Weiss keeps the football, turns upfield, and is dragged down from behind.
They got to call timeout. They do.
Timeout with the score, Cougars 28, the Falcons of Air Force 21. 11 seconds to play in this ball game. Don't you dare go away. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network.
Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight?
So now it's third down. Coach wants me to call a quarterback draw.
2 Coors Lights, Rod.
So before I can do anything, I get blindsided by this lineman named Everett. We called him the Mount.
Mount Everett.
This guy was so bad, he knocked me straight into bartending. Yeah, well, he could never be the bartender that you are, Rod. That's true. But he could be the bar.
There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Coors Light Beer. An important message from Pizza Hut.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, for a very short time, Pizza Hut is offering a large pizza for a medium charge. Just for writing, make it a large, medium charge on a piece of paper and bringing it into Pizza Hut. It is that easy. Make it a large, medium charge on any piece of paper. Any questions?
Now at Pizza Hut, a large pizza or Priazzo Italian pie for a medium charge when we get it in writing from you.
The scoreboard tells a story. 11 seconds to play, and the BYU hanging on to a 28-21 lead over undefeated Air Force.
What's your call, Coach Fullerjack? Do you have to pass it into the end zone?
You have 11 seconds to play. If you try a sweep, you're chewing up precious time. I look for Weiss to throw the football, looking for 6. If it falls incomplete, the clock will stop. 11 seconds to play. Weiss pitches it to Monfano. And incomplete is the call. 4 seconds remain.
They say he threw the ball for it. I think it's a good call. He tried to throw it to Mark Manafo. And it's incomplete. Manafo, the man who ran around the right side and got that big yardage for the first down on 4th and 3 a few moments ago.
And Chris Mufano lost his footing there anyway, and he really had to work his way back to the football. 3rd down. And this happens to be the 16th
play of the drive. Yes, indeed. Thank you, stats people. It started with 5:41 to go after the touchdown pass of 69 yards from Bosco to Sukahama. That put BYU in front. 28-21 Cougars. 4 seconds left. This may be the ball game.
Weiss, the quarterback, in the wishbone. Weiss will throw it. Lays one up and intercepted. Rob Ladinko, the hero. And this football game is over. Air Force has suffered their first defeat of 1985. BYU 28, the Falcons 21. We'll be back. Don't go away.
You know, I've been a beer drinker for a bunch of years. Like you, I've seen a lot of beer commercials. There's one beer that people loved before it was even advertised. You see, Coors was kind of the beer at my folks' place. People thought it was different, special. That was true long before there were any jingles or promotions. The product people love, not the hoopla. You think about that. How many products can you say that about? Coors is the one.
British Columbia, Canada. The 1986 World Exposition in Vancouver, Canada, where the USA, Soviet Union, and the People's Republic of China, with over 40 other nations, celebrate world achievements in transportation and communications. Come on up.
You'll love it. Come join us.
And that's an order. Expo 86, Vancouver, British Columbia. Don't miss it for the world.
I don't mind working hard, but I'll tell you how I feel. I work an honest day, and I want an honest deal.
Nobody wants high food prices. So when more people come to Safeway than any other food store in America, you know we got to be giving them a good deal.
I work an honest day, and I want an honest deal.
Safeway, America's favorite food store.
Skippers, introduces the new chicken nugget and fish all-you-can-eat special, featuring all the mouth-watering white meat chicken nuggets and all the tender fish fillets you can eat, plus fries, chowder, and more for one low price. Skipper's Chicken Nugget and Fish, all-you-can-eat special, only at Skipper's.
Seafood, baby, come on down to Skipper's for some seafood.
And welcome back to Provo. Craig Bowler-Jack along with Chris Tunis. And the scene here at Cougar Stadium resembles another national championship. Just about this crowd pouring onto the field as BYU has taken a 28-21 win over previously undefeated Air Force. And Chris, what a classic college matchup today.
New Year's Eve has come early to Provo. I don't remember a celebration like this last year. Certainly not an outpouring of fans onto the field after the game. Unbelievable. What a comeback. BYU down 14-0 in the first 3 minutes. 21-7 at halftime. Falcons tie it the Cougars tie it in the third quarter. Go ahead on the bomb the Sycamore with 5:41 to go. And then the Falcons, showing the class quality outfit that they are, driving down the field, getting down to the 7-yard line. Then the incomplete pass intended, or the intercepted pass intended for Carpenter in the end zone, picked off by Rob Ledenko.
No doubt you have to tip your hat to both of these ball clubs. In fact, it was almost two separate ball games. Air Force, it was all Air Force in the first half. And, of course, BYU with 3 touchdowns in the second half to win this ball game. And you hate to see either one of these clubs come up losers.
Both these teams, I think, are deserving of New Year's Day bowl bids. I really do. The Cougars went a long way toward gaining one today. The Falcons didn't do that much to hurt their chances.
Both defenses came up with some very key plays. Of course, in the first half, Air Force intercepted Bosco 3 times, but the second half belonged to BYU.
They did come up with 1 interception by A.J. Scott, but you're right. The Cougars did dominate until that final drive by the Falcons. The BYU defense had allowed just 2 first downs in the second half.
Robbie Bosco's statistics, of course, 52 attempts, 30 completions, 341 yards, and the glaring fact is he threw up 4 interceptions today. But this crowd here in Provo appreciative of 15th-ranked BYU as they knock off 4th-ranked Air Force by a final of 28-21. We will be back to recap this ball game once again in just a minute. The final 28-21 BYU.
The 3 quarters at Burger King. We got 3 double cheeseburgers, quarter pound. 3 double cheeseburgers, new taste in town. We got tacos without the jalapeno cheese. Pizza without the mozzarella cheese. We got mushroom double quick, a taste you don't want to miss. Cheese double boneless, you better get the Burger King snack.
Quarter pound double cheeseburgers are appearing for limited engagement.
I'm too hungry for Burger King now.
British Columbia, Canada. The 1986 World Exposition in Vancouver, Canada. A kaleidoscope of experiences. A fun-filled family vacation opportunity without equal. The Canadian adventure you've been waiting for. Come to a city so friendly. Come on out. Come to a world so spectacular. Expo 86, Vancouver, British Columbia. Don't miss it for the world.
The warehouse prices at Pay and Pack's November month-long sale mean you can afford a new kitchen for the holidays. Come see our complete kitchen cabinet displays and compare our prices with anyone in town. Bring in your kitchen dimensions and the experts at the Pack will help you draw up plans, give you an estimate, and show you how easy installing them can be. Wall units, base units, corner units, and sink units. The Pack has them all at 20%.
Coach, I know the celebration down on the field is deafening, and I appreciate you stopping by to talk to us. But, Coach, was it 2 different ball games? It seemed like Air Force had your number in the first half. However, whatever you said at halftime must have worked. BYU came out really throwing the football very well.
Well, I think the first half, the problem we had, we were just a little bit too tense. We were tight. We made some mistakes. And, you know, they made big plays. I mean, they got, 2 touchdowns on intercepted passes. And we just came back the second half and played extremely well on defense. Our kicking game was good all day long. We, of course, made the big plays in the second half when we had to. That last play to Sycamore was a big one. And then, of course, Rob Ledenko's interception there at the end.
Coach, do you feel that maybe BYU came out intimidated, even though they were on their home turf today?
No, we were not intimidated at all. We've never been intimidated. We came out too tight. We were I think we had a little more intensity, and maybe this one of the few times we've been real tight, but we certainly weren't intimidated.
Well, your defense played a magnificent game. So did Air Force's. In fact, I got to ask you a question about the bowl picture. How do you feel about things now after today's win?
Well, I would think that something good will have to happen. I don't know yet. I don't think the bids come out till next week. I understand they do get in place this week, but I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, Coach, enjoy yourself. A big win for you today, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Craig.
All right, there you have it. Lavelle Edwards, of course, a very happy man. His Cougars knock off Air Force 28-21. We'll be back to put the final wrap on this game in just a minute. Don't go away.